god.
Y'all good?
See ya later.
I don't need this in my life.
See ya
Because
at the
I
car
can just
session.
feel it in my spine.
Well, that's a good.
Every time somebody says that human spine doesn't bend like that, I post this video.
I mean, mine is shaped like an S, not as a C.
Anyway, if I recall correctly, y'all wanted to. It's another day. It's a fresh day. Y'all did a lot of work. You went to a nice little dinner party. You talked to some administrators around town. You fixed some things. A bunch of stuff happened, really.
Hell yeah.
So as the morning sun rises, the question is, what do y'all do? It's a nice morning. Today's breakfast is French toast. High in energy
Ooh.
and good in taste.
Nice. Did we fix the windmill?
I'm pretty sure someone here did. I think it was Como.
Yeah,
okay.
the window was fixed.
Hold on. So I'm having some internet connection issues, so if I disappear, please assume that was that, and I'm also not recording. So Safia recording is going to be the only one for today. Anyway, could you repeat the last phrase? I was trying to mess with OBS.
Well, y'all did a lot of stuff around town, and now you're set up for doing a
Yes.
lot of stuff on the second day that you're here.
Yeah.
Or third-ish day. It's kind of weird.
Yes, I've been meaning to actually continue doing what I did yesterday, basically set up a routine.
A routine.
Once again, see if there are any postings that don't necessarily require me to deal with people.
What's everyone else's plans? Because I think there's a bunch of follow-ups. Let me just think out loud. There's a lady who wants to come by to learn about your electrical equipment. There's a person who wants to talk to your boss about some business negotiations. I think there's some bandits out yonder that need to be taken care of. Do remind me if I missed anything that you might think is personally important or not.
So there was that Jaden. I've forgotten the name of that family that runs the rail yard.
Should be in the notes.
Yeah, the Richards.
The person who owns the rail yard is technically Jude Richards,
Ooh.
the 46-year-old woman who has been consistently described as a hag.
If someone wants to go deal with the bandits, I can join them.
Well, it's probably not right after breakfast, so.
We hope.
Yeah.
But it is an ongoing concern. If you want to start the day with that, let's go kick some batted bat. But
I mean, it's best to kick batted butt on a full stomach.
yes, alternatively, let's try to persuade them to actually help us.
Absolutely. Like, I'm gonna be meeting Louise whenever she finds her way there, but till then, definitely down for a bandit kicking.
Yeah, we'll probably have the best chances if we go as a group.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So you're gonna go take care of some bandits? Let's roll.
Yeah, we are. After French toast. And coffee.
You take care of all your immediate provisional needs. After which, I presume you head over to yonder... What's it called? The place where you keep all the cars, the garage. Any preference, you can take the closed top or the open top. Both have their own ups and downs.
Oh, well.
Take the close
I mean-
top. If they start shooting, it might be easier to get away.
Closed top is safer.
Yeah, but with an open top, we'll have more eyes on looking out. On a
Open
side
top.
note, the very last thing, very important.
Closed top.
BB.
Yeah,
Are looking to kiss. Join now.
Yes, I'd go for the close top. Sounds more reasonable.
Closed top.
All right,
Let's go.
all right. Going for
I
the
believe
closed.
that's the one we've been taking. I believe that's the one we've been taking last time as well.
Taking a close look at what this vehicle is equipped to handle, it contains an advanced autopilot, a communication system that is advanced, even encrypted, but who knows what that's good for. It has a control system, fire extinguisher, an enhanced sensor system, and something called a wet bar. which I'm gonna have to look up because I don't know what that is.
A wet bar.
A wet
I
bar.
think
In encrypted communication systems, we can ERP without anyone knowing.
Ooh, that sounds useful.
Uwu over.
Mr. Obama.
just got it. Oh my fucking god. I'm slow today. Sorry.
969er, 969er. We got whores in the city who need backup.
Quickly.
First
Bring
of
a moppet in a bucket. A moppet? A bucket and a mop.
A bucket and a mop. A muppet and a buck, if you will.
Holy shit! I just want to know what a fucking wet bar is, man.
It's like a regular bar, but wet.
Ask Cardi B if you want to know.
It involves a bucket and a mop as well.
Oh, that's what
What?
is a small bar used for mixing. Why does the car have this? Is a great question. I don't have an answer. So good luck, chumps.
I think what it says, a wet bar, I think it's literally just a bar, like a selection of drinks inside.
Listen,
Not like a bar as in a stick.
there's a fucking yeah. That's what I just said. There's a fucking bar in this
Can I make some cocktails before we
for
start?
mixing drinks.
And Molotovs. Don't underestimate a good Molotov.
If you really want to be like that, sure, why not? Let's see. It requires one person to drive. You can have 5 passengers. Almost a ton of cargo. Whoa. A hull of 20.
Damn.
I can
Which means that
drive.
once this thing takes 20 damage or more, it's down. Has 12 arm in all directions. Pretty sturdy stuff. This thing will soak some shots for you. If you take
What
a
the
little
fuck?
cover. Does not have a weapon system. So yes, let's get on the road.
We are the weapon systems.
Its speed, by the way, is fast or high. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it's being so abstract about it. Like, you can just include a km/h thing, dude.
Yeah, but then people are gonna start doing maths.
We don't want that.
Want to keep the nerds out.
Does that mean I have to get high to drive?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god. I love this part. There's a table for vehicle quirks, and if you roll a 2 on a 2d6, the car just seems cursed. I'm free to impose a ban on important skills. Jesus. There's
Keep
something,
that for us.
there's something about that just makes me shit myself in hilarity. It's just like he rolled on the tray table. I don't fucking know what's wrong with it. People just freak out around it.
Take it to the mechanic and he starts doing like exorcisms on it.
Oh my god, for a mere 2,000 credits, yes, you can fit your place with a wet bar. Your no journey will ever be a dry one, thanks.
Can we get a dry bar to match?
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure
if
you
we
can just
drink
put dry
everything
goods
at
in the wet bar.
It's dry.
We're gonna dry out this bar the old-fashioned way.
Let's drink this bar dry.
That'll do it. That'll fix it.
Alright, kids. I think I'm gonna find the page that contains the speed information, which I just want, like, for my own sake. My curiosity's been piqued, and once that happens, you can't stop me. Cool.
Why don't
Do
you
it.
invite the bandits for a drink?
Speed bands are apparently a thing. Thanks. I don't see them. I'll look this all up later. Make a footnote of it, someone, because I'll forget this in like seconds. Point is, you drive your way over under the morning sun. What a oh, shit! I turned the NPC manifest into a picture. There we go. It's dry as ever. Is anyone here particularly sensitive to like changes in humidity? Like you're old and your bones start to creak or something.
No,
Not really.
we're young.
We're just a gang of millennials.
Space millennial.
I can't believe that no one here is even remotely sensitive to weather. What has gone wrong?
Kids
It's
these
okay,
days.
Grandpa.
You can't just. Oh, here we go. I actually found it.
Ooh.
Speed band, kilometers. Okay, so this. Oh shit, this thing can go 200 to 500 kilometers an hour. Jesus.
I
What the
floored.
fuck?
I floored
That
across the land.
Wee.
Yeah, it has fast or high. I think. I don't know how to read that, but I'm gonna imagine that it's like on good conditions you can go around 500. In most conditions,
Yeah.
200 to 300. Jesus, though. Fuck.
That's a lot. That's so zoomy.
Everyone buckle up, we're going full speed.
I wouldn't recommend it. There's even one. There's even a band for hypersonic. What? Wow. Whoa. Careful there, Bucko. Don't go too near me. Oh, that's cruising speed. Oh, neat. Making your way through Rack and Goal, unless you decide to avoid it and go through a cross or even go around that, there are many ways to get to where you need to go. Although you're kind of relying on your own navigation skills, since this car has not been driven over to the Rack and to the goal in the area so far.
I have navigation.
On the bright side, though, even if we get lost, it can perfectly retrace our steps and go back to point zero.
Gotta step away for a brief moment. Be back in a bit.
Okay.
You go.
What if we just get drunk with the bandits? That sounds like a good plan to get rid of them.
What if the
It
cure
depends.
to the water issue is getting everybody into beer like it's medieval times?
It depends entirely on why the bandits are the way they are. Why are they exactly bandits? Are they just kids that are feeling rebellious? Are they actually people who are disgruntled with the local government, etc.?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they displaced from where they used to live, so they turn to banditry, etc.? We need to at least find out why the hell they're doing that, and then try to find a solution. And if they refuse to cooperate, then we can always
Yeah,
just shoot them.
we need to talk to them first. It would be bad. It would be bad to just go in guns blazing.
We can deliver a bit of a beatdown after investigation.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll let
Let's
you talk.
first.
I'll let you talk.
I would not be the one talking, but let's talk first.
At a conceptual level, talking good.
Well, here has the highest talking skill, by the way.
My society is -1, 4.
Let's see.
+1, so at the very least I can try anything without a negative in that aspect.
Yeah, but what we need more is something like diplomat.
Yeah, I've got 1 in diplomat.
No, none of those.
I have a diplomat, but I'm struggling to see how much it is because of my screen. God dang it.
I can heal someone if they're wounded. Maybe that's a good way to negotiate.
I can also kill them if they're wounded. Excuse me, I can also heal them if they're wounded.
I mean, we can
But
all
also
kill them
kill
if they're wounded.
Can we?
Freudian flip.
It's not Freudian if it's not horny.
Yeah, point.
What do you mean it's not horny?
It is meaningful
Like,
though.
if I meant to say I'm gonna kill them and then I accidentally misspoke, I can fuck them, then that would be Freudian sleep.
Yes.
Well, now I have the GTA hooker music stuck in my head. Thanks, buds.
I have not posted any.
Legas.
This. Quick question: does anyone here know Foundry?
Foundry.
Know it? In which way?
Like use it to run games?
No.
Used it to run games, but I used it to play games.
Would you know if it has World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade?
Uh, I'm sure it does, but we'll need to ask Safi.
Okay.
But Safi has not run that system before, so I don't think.
Thinking of running it for some friends, but I'm debating getting Foundry because I do like the system, the software.
Definitely better than Roll20.
Yeah, I agree. I used Roll20 before. It killed me.
I mean, it's perfectly serviceable.
I just googled it.
Oh, thank you, Dizzy.
Apparently, quite a few versions of it, so it looks like it is getting like updates and stuff.
Aw, funky fresh.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Foundry because I had a couple of ideas for games.
Mm. I've been thinking of getting a fucking giant um pack with like maps and stuff, and then splitting the cost, but I'm not sure.
Yes.
If I'm gonna be running Vampire the Masquerade, I'm gonna be running in my city, my home city. And since everyone is not from my country, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Wait, Zagreb? You're
Yeah,
running something? Oh my god. How? What? How?
it's gonna be beautiful.
You
Maps of
have.
Zagreb exist, so
You can use the
you know,
maps easily.
Croatia might not be like the most advanced country in the world, but they do have maps.
Yep.
So the rumor goes.
And sometimes they're correct. Only sometimes. watch me
Sometimes I
watch
still remember. Sometimes I still remember the little American who told me I was making Croatia up because he never heard of it. Like,
I do
Because you
tend to
never
do
Yeah,
heard
that.
about something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
you
yeah.
sound like an American, all right.
Oh,
I was
I've been told that I'm Russia before. I'm part of
Ooh,
Russia.
nice. That's an update. We don't usually get that one. I mean, kind of. We get it, but
Probably because people can't discern the accents.
yeah, they just don't. But yeah, like which period of Zagreb? Like modern one or?
No, modern one. If I'm running Vampire the Masquerade, I'm running modern.
Ooh, coolio. Okay, okay.
Biggest issue with running games like that in the modern setting is that everybody has a fucking phone. So it's like, cool, your masquerade just got blown from 50 different angles.
That is true. I'm gonna deal with that one.
On the upside,
See,
you're never
so
gonna have to struggle with making up a tavern because we have bakeries everywhere and restaurants.
No, the
bakery
idea
is not the same as a tavern, though.
It's
Hmm?
yeah,
better. It's got bread.
it's got it's got all the carbs that you can't eat as a
So,
vampire.
Maybe I'm running a bakery as a front. What you
Look,
gonna do about it?
look. My current slash last VPN game. I use dating apps as food delivery service.
Okay, but dating apps as NPC creators.
No, I'm probably gonna just find a reason why they're not gonna be able to have phones. Not like lore reasons, but their Tsar being a dick.
Hmm.
I mean, if they can steal one and
in my current
keep it hidden, yeah, but no.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be very fun to watch.
my current 5e campaign, we have an NPC controlling a hub, who is a mob boss who is running a restaurant as a front. I'm starting to think that he's not really a mob boss anymore because they probably realize how much more profitable it is to run a legitimate business, so they just make pancakes for a living now.
I love that.
I wanted to do that in my current evil campaign. I just wanted to start an inn and use it as a front, but somebody burned my inn down.
God dang it.
Amazing. I always play evil characters, although people don't
Currently,
really let me.
oh, uh,
Rip.
so it's a big like PvP kind of evil campaign that I'm in right now. It's a mixture of multiple things, and there's like 9 players ish. So
9 is a lot.
it's a play by post, so it can be like 20 to be perfectly clear. But it's running good. The DM is amazing. and I got moved to a different group because my character died.
Rip.
Now I'm in the so I was an evil character. Now I'm the big bad with two other people, and none of the other
Nice.
people know it.
Promotion.
Promotion.
Okay, that's actually pretty interesting though.
No, we are gonna be the big bad allegedly because our group consists of a necromancer, a ranger, and I'm a paladin oathbreaker. So as soon as we get a zombie army, we're gonna be amazing because my aura enhances them.
You're like a power bank for evil.
But let's be perfectly clear: a different player in the same campaign managed to fool a dragon.
Mm.
So they just have an adult white dragon.
Every time I play an evil character, the good characters turn out to be consistently more evil. It's kind of amusing.
That's how my tavern burned down. So we started as evil, but not the big bad, the moderate evil, and we just helped the town because we wanted money. We were greedy. And then the good guys that are supposed to hunt us come, and they start attacking us for no
How's
fucking
that
reason.
evil? How's that evil though? That's basically just any adventuring party.
That's the thing. We didn't know how to be evil in my first group. Now in the second
Oh
group,
my
now we
god!
see what evil is. Now we see what
Invite me
evil
over
is.
some. Invite me over sometime.
You're gonna give them a crash course.
I'm gonna crash their entire city.
Love that.
Oh, that's what I'm
How's
doing
that
currently.
for a
I'm trying
crash
to start a
course?
cult in a city nearby our group.
Oh, hit me up. I have notes on that.
You have notes on cults?
Yes.
I've been sucking at it. My paladin has been trying to.
Okay. Here's a little tiny little preview. I'll have to like dig through my notes for specific things because it's been collected a year
Sorry.
ago. But that's okay. Hold on.
I got recruited into the help move heavy stuff for our refurbishments squad.
All right, I'm gonna DM you a few things on Cult
Oh,
off the
please.
top of my head.
Please. Thank you.
All right, so you were driving over to the goal. Here we go. The area of the goal. Are we all back in action, or someone missing?
All right, hold on. I still haven't associated your names with voices. Could you repeat who I'm sending it to?
You're sending it to what's my name
Snugs.
on Discord? Give me a
There you go.
second.
Or Nav?
Snugs or Nav?
Nav. Nav.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I noticed the names are no longer showing the number indicators.
I'm
Ooh.
2999.
3.
Yeah, they used to show that, but not anymore. Man, my head's all sweaty, which is bad with headphones.
Here you go. Here's a crash course on cults. Anyway,
Gosh.
Oh,
back to the
thank
game.
you.
So, as I mentioned, y'all are on the road, going over to the goal. Once you cross through town, seeing only a few early arisers who probably ran into some problems considering how grumpy they look, or how they're opening up shop. It's morning work is at the farms, which means they don't come to town. Your trips take you towards the outskirts, past the people, until eventually you cross onto the road. That specifies that it goes towards the Racken Lake. The area here is significantly hillier than you've been at before. Also interesting is that most roads here do that San Francisco thing where they swerve left and right to gain altitude at a slow and steady clip. There are no tire tracks here, only wagon wheel tracks at most. Eventually, you get high enough that you have a good view of the area. It's a nice view, but you're not here for the view. It's kind of interesting to see the lake appear in the distance, it being one of the last places where the trees and grass are still remarkably green. Although even they start to suffer from the exhaustive. So, there's a problem with lakes that if anyone here has any science regarding like climatology or anything would know is that once a lake loses its drainage and purely evaporates, it starts to accumulate salts and chemicals.
Yes.
So this lake, I mean, it's not been that long. It's been a 10-year drought, so there's been a buildup, and it can't go anywhere. So
Oh gosh.
the plants are better than elsewhere, but if this goes on for much longer, these plants are going to die from toxins. Now that you're here, the question is, where do you go?
I mean, what's our intel say?
Taking a look at what you were told and asked to do. We're going to say that you stopped on the way just to get another good clue. I mean, the town hall is probably open. These particular bandits have been known to hang out in the area for a while. Supposedly they hang out on the northern goal. What they do there is unknown to anyone because they don't want to go there. There's people with guns up there, and they shoot. Pew, pew.
Fair.
quick question before we engage those people. Can I inspect the plans with my professional biologicals? Is that a thing I can do?
You know what? Sure. What do you want to figure out? Like, what's this roll for?
I want to see what kind of toxins, and can it be reversed? That's my
You know what? Considering that you have any training whatsoever, it's just like salt buildup and other
okay.
associated, like it just gunk is building up, algae are building up, those algae release stuff that's unwanted. If it starts raining reliably and the underwater or whatever affluents are, the runoff is available, naturally, due to how dilution works, it'll just go away.
Okay. Thank you.
Interesting. We can work with that.
Yep, I hope you can.
With better.
I still love the fact that there's an animal on this planet which is just called a real hawk.
A what now?
A real hawk. There's even a picture in the book for it. In it.
Is there a fake hawk to match?
I don't know. I don't know why they called it the real hawk instead of anything else, but hey, there you go.
I think a fake hawk is just. I'm not gonna make that joke.
It's like a hedgehog,
Anyway.
but different.
Yes.
Going up
you
the
did
north.
mention that.
Hmm?
You did mention that we have the drones. I would like to use one of those to try
What
and scout
drones?
the area.
Just for context.
At the base,
Mm-hmm.
we have a few.
Cool. You know, normally if we're using luck, I would ask you for a luck check because you never specified beforehand. But hey, you throw some drones into the air and give them a swoosh around. What do you hope to find?
What I'm looking for is essentially, okay, just for context. There was a guy who decided to just live in the wilderness because he hated the taxes or something, and they've discovered him by basically flying around and spotting his shit from the air. So, considering there's some foliage here, it might be a little bit more difficult to find stuff.
You're
from
looking
the
for
ground.
signs of habitation.
Yes.
You can roll me some drone checks to see if you manage to operate this thing properly and not get too caught up in the crosswinds high up. It's
Okay.
it's an awfully windy day today for some reason.
That's fair enough. Now that would be remote ops, correct?
Yes.
And what would be the modifier?
Let's say intelligence or education, whichever one you prefer.
Well, both of those. Actually, intelligence is a little bit higher, so I'm gonna roll with that.
It's gonna flee by the seat of your pants.
Yes, 10.
Taking a look around the place, there's distinct signs of habitation. The road going up northward, in particular, has several large signs that mark it. You know, the usual kind of like putting a cow skull on a big pole to look intimidating. So once you look further up, so there aren't many trees here. Trees are not common. It's way too windy. Windbreakers are grown, but it's been too harsh for them to stay standing for long. So there is an area where some big trees seem to have been taken care of. While under normal conditions you imagine that there might be more trees to make this less of an obvious location, once you figure out that, oh, this is like the one place with a solid tree coverage, and you take a closer look, you see that it's like a small tree fort of sorts that has been reinforced. Or it's a fortress between the trees, more like.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a decently defended location. It's not like whole palisade and walls and stuff, but it is like they'll have a defensive advantage on a surface level.
Like
at
a
least.
stockade or something.
Yeah. Like it's not covered on all sides. It's clearly intended for there to be other nature to help cover it up, but.
Okay, that makes sense. I suppose we can pull up to that. I'm going to ask the rest of the group if they want to basically drive up to the wall and knock on the door.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Everybody cool with that?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's go and ask them.
Let's go in.
Here has a silver tongue, should be doing the talking.
I'm just gonna be smug in the background.
I wonder what traits are. There's a section on all the character sheets for traits, and none of them have any.
We're going to be having a conversation with the bandits while our buddy in the background is doing a default Fortnite dance.
All right, so you move up to the bandit camp. You don't get too far before a gun fires at like the soil directly in front of you, and someone in the distance starts yelling at you. Look, who's over there? What do you think you're doing around here?
Parlay.
Yeah,
We ain't no pirates.
we've come on behalf of the town to speak to the residents out here.
Ho ho ho. And it better be a good ransom offer you got.
Aren't you guys usually the ones that send the ransom offer? Is that normally how
Oh,
that works?
considering how dry it's been, we could use a couple of new barrels, so we weren't in too much of a hurry to sell them.
We were kind of wondering if you could return them to the city, since they kind of belong to them and they need them.
Now, let me tell you
You're
about
not
the old.
addressed.
Yeah, he basically gives you the old. You ever heard of the rule of finders keepers? And then there's this pew in the air.
I mean, they clearly have never heard about conserving ammunition.
Maybe if I talk long enough, they'll run out of bullets before we even have to fight.
Listen,
Oh, yeah, there's the. Oh my God, it's like that hillbilly from that goddamn parody movie where he keeps shooting his shotgun 76 times, even though he only has 4 shots.
Jesus. To be fair, like a magazine of ammo of like 8 shots for the guns around here is like 6 credits. It's pretty cheap. So they probably have like a little
Water's
pile built up.
expensive, but the gunpowder is cheap.
I have to talk for a while.
I mean, to be fair, they're set up for a siege. They can probably hold out for a while, so they probably have some ammo to last them instead of having enough for the day.
It's probably old-fashioned stockade of the style of what was it again, Treasure Island. Now I can't really talk for the rest of us, but just as a reminder, we're not exactly right now addressing exactly the issue. We're just telling them to bring stuff back, but we're also not actually threatening them. It would be nice to actually ask them why the heck are they sitting up here instead of like, doing some work in town, because that seems like a little bit more practical. It's like, do they just hate working so much? Or is there some kind of underlying issue for this?
So who here thinks that they have the necessary skills to get these guys to talk about the local history of the bandit camp?
I have +1 to diplomacy, so I suppose I could try, unless somebody else wants to step in. My point is exactly as I said. I want to find out why exactly they're sitting in here instead of actually helping the town. Why are they
Could you? I
thinking
get
that?
it, Como. I get it. I know what you want. You don't have to continuously re-explain the same thing.
I like being understood.
Well,
That's why I don't talk to people.
Like, I get what you
All
want.
right.
You want to figure out what's the deal.
Why? Yes. What's the deal with airline food?
All right, who here thinks they can give it a go? If you have a negative social modifier, that actually works for you, since
No,
they're
I
outcasts.
have it.
Persuade, diplomat, anything of the talky talk sorts.
I don't have that. I just have the negative social.
Have 0 and +1.
You can also, of course, use your intelligence. If that's preferred.
Intelligence?
Yes, intellect. Excuse me.
Mine is at +2. That would give me a total of +3.
Well, go for it then.
All right. Okay. There we go. 14.
Okay, that's an astounding success. As in literally, you rolled 6 over. Well, you strike up a little bit of a conversation. You learn the obvious details as to what's approximately going on, which is these guys kind of started to form after some farms fell apart. There isn't enough work in town for them to sustain themselves, so they were just like, a lot of people come over here to get some fresh water, to get water for the week, so why not just erect a toll?
So they're not bad. They just have a toll.
And sometimes they steal expensive barrels and stuff for themselves. Just it's how it goes when you're a bandit. Any other questions you would like to ask?
Yes. If I would like to ask if they would actually be interested, if they're interested in maintaining that sort of like lifestyle of living in bumfuck nowhere, that's fine. But how about we actually give them work? Because I'm sure our body can.
So
Yes?
their story is that they literally sold their farm because the farm didn't work anymore, and there's no one else hiring because a lot of people's farms aren't working anymore.
That's true.
Have you considered a change of profession?
So what?
Oh my God! Don't tell them to learn programming. They're gonna shoot us on sight.
Engineering?
Have you considered picking up programming, sir?
Since they are already managing the water here, how about we just basically give them the job of monitoring this stuff in exchange for a little bit of money, etc. Maybe we can set up an aquifer for them so they can actually have a farm right here.
So, You're talking. So to provide a little bit of context, what you're suggesting is beyond the tech level of the town at the moment. They cannot make the irrigation stuff without breaking the lake, as it were.
Ah, I see. Fair enough. Well, what would be the reasonable suggestion here then, Alpha, in a similar
Additionally, you
vein?
were mentioning like toll and regulation stuff. The lake is
Yeah.
considered a public good, and there is no central government that would monitor this.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, in that case, is it possible for us to actually provide them with an opportunity to work either at the compound or elsewhere? And if not, how we is it possible for us to actually try and resurrect the farm?
Okay, for this I'm gonna need a roll because I need you to scope out or convince them somehow to see if they're not good enough people that hiring them isn't the worst possible idea.
Well, I mean, they seem to be, at least their stories, that they're fair people. So what would I be rolling? Diplomat again?
By the way, this is a blind roll, so I'm just gonna tell you what you're thinking, but you're not allowed to see what that means. So,
Okay, how
I
would I
don't.
roll then?
I
Blindly?
actually don't know what the insight for this game is.
There
not-
is a private GM roll thing.
Yeah, I know. If you make a roll, you
blind
can
GM roll.
Let me actually take a look at the skill list. I have the GM, the little thing open. See if I can find a skill that makes me go that makes sense. I
Sure.
love that the GM table just has the skill table on it because why doesn't 5e do that? Come on, it's really easy. Actually, I think it does. I'm just being a big old dummy. So we got Streetwise and Steward might work. Leadership maybe. It's also like a guesstimation of insight.
That is fair enough. I don't have any applicable skills here. Maybe somebody else does.
Carouse maybe, but that will take some time.
I do
So
not
if anyone has
have
any of
that.
those skills and a good intellect on their head, or a good social standing, social people people with high standing tend to have better judges of character since they're more familiar with more strata. So
Could also just help me as well.
Would
I think.
Streetwise be of use?
yeah, Streetwise is one of the skills that falls on this, and Steward too.
Well,
Okay.
I'm 0 in stewards. So that's probably not good enough to help.
Well, at least you have the skill. Unlike me, who doesn't even have it.
Can I help
work. I'd rather help out you instead.
out? Okay.
Yeah, I think both of us can help out you in that case.
Dope.
Okay. Quick note. This is we'll just say it as average, but you can take extra time if you want to make it a bit easier on yourself too. Don't forget, you can hurry or make things slower. Plenty of ways to
Well,
do
we're
things.
not.
Recon do.
We're not exactly in a rush. We just had breakfast. It's probably a good idea to just discuss things with them.
I have one more question for Arthur Azimuth. Are you in full combat gear?
I am wearing the suit and I have the rifle on my back. I'm not pointing at them or anything.
Okay, fair enough. They can roll with
You're
that.
just looking scary as crap. You're not doing anything scary.
All right. Well, whoever
I'm
thinks
Yeah, it's more of an implication.
that they can be a good judge of character for a whole bunch of goons.
I mean, sure, I can give it a try.
Stewart, Streetwise. I think I also said leadership is allowed. Or
Yeah.
carouse.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use your
So-
intellect or your social standing. And it has to be a blind roll, which is set at the bottom drop box.
Blind roll. I'm gonna use intellect because I do have a 7 in it. It's not enough to get a plus or anything, but it's something.
Yes. Quick note, if you want to help each other, you can set up a task chain where you all do a different skill, like you approach it from a different angle and you all combine your results as it were.
Can I
Ooh.
then do recon to look at all the things they have and be like, oh, they have got comfortable in this lifestyle, they will not change their lifestyle? Is that a possibility?
Listen, with the way the town is supposed to be going, if you do your job well, that's not going to be a concern. Let's put it like that. Like if your dreams come true, then these guys will eventually have to be like, man, refrigerators are very useful, but we can't plug them in anywhere around here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do the blind roll, right?
Yes.
I do
Wait,
have
no.
advocate, but I
Yes.
don't suppose it will be in any way useful in this particular situation.
Okay, now I'm just going to ask you, do you want to use your reroll once per session?
I mean, if you're asking that, I'm supposing the answer is yes.
Well, then go ahead and roll again.
Oh, good lord.
Why are you letting the person with a 0 modifier to make these roll, by the way? Is a question I want to know, because I'm pretty sure someone around here can have like a +1 on this at the very least.
I mean,
I mean,
They
I'm
volunteered.
hope. Well, yeah, y'all
They
do
said
get
it was a
to.
good idea.
So normal, blind, average, like players.
All right. I mean, they look like trustworthy guys. Like, hey, they claim that they used to work at a farm and all that, and then they sold it. So at the very least, they know what civilization is supposed to be like, right?
That sounds super reliable. Guys, I
Yeah,
think these guys are so reliable.
And hey,
definitely
if
not
if
giving
if the
away
weather
what
ever
they want.
picks up, there's going to be plenty of farming to go around, and the forest out in the state does need some people to help the landscaping. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Totes. There are no downsides to these bandits. Yes.
None at all. Can't go wrong.
Nothing is wrong
However,
here.
just because I say that doesn't mean that you have to do that. You're allowed to make your own decisions.
We should give them money as well, right?
Just because the test result says that this kid got an F minus doesn't mean that you have to make him fail the class, as it were.
Well, look, if we can't necessarily immediately provide them with an opportunity for work or whatever, because well, we see their plight, etc. At the very least, we can offer them barter.
Dude, you
You know,
literally have a card with a telephone to your boss in it.
well, that's what I've been meaning to use. Yeah.
If you phone up your boss, you'll get the answer that
Sure.
sure. If you found some kind, polite, helpful people, then sure, why not? Let's give this place a little sprucing.
Hopefully.
Some hiring some local ruffians would reflect positively on him as a community leader,
Mm.
especially if they don't fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, showing that people can actually come back from bad times is usually good.
Yeah, but like it's not. We can't expect them to do it in one go. So how about we start with something small
How about we get them
in
a job?
exchange for the stuff they've stolen?
All right. Well,
We could offer them something in exchange.
so
I mean, what do you have that
Yep.
they might be
Like,
that they might be interested in?
hey, we can offer them medical care if somebody has a fucking,
Well,
callous foot
exactly.
or something. They can show over, and then we can not only investigate them, but also, match up the name, look up what they were doing. Maybe they're all convicted criminals. Who knows?
Is one of them like seemingly wounded?
I mean, they probably wouldn't be showing it.
at this point, you probably like enter the compound and made your intentions as a neutral party obvious. So you probably could tell that a couple of them, like, yeah, it's tech level 3. They don't understand medical science all that well.
Mhm.
Cleaning the wound
Hey,
properly, and also
so we did do the thing where we're gonna set up medical seminars, right? What if we like organize them access to that? Because that's also gonna occupy them and keep them off, crime duties. If you don't have that many hours in the day to do crime, there might be less crime.
What if I give them a medical seminar and they give us the goods?
Yeah.
you vastly underestimate the value of a medical seminar versus I need this stuff to live.
Exactly.
You need a medical seminar to live.
Yeah, like medical
They don't need a
seminars is
medical
for
seminar. They need a book
health
on poisonous
geeks.
mushrooms or something.
I appreciate that you think that medical knowledge is very valuable, but between tech levels, it's very hard to justify. Like, okay, why should I know about fusion reactors? I don't see how this helps me.
Exactly. See.
Like not fusion reactors, just like why is putting cow poop on your on your wounds a
They're
bad
not
idea?
that dumb. They're not that dumb, I hope.
I hope.
Yeah. See, that's the funny part because we all lack the context for that sort of wild, wild west. We're all basically city slicker dumbasses. It's great. I love
That's
it.
what you're trying to overcome for your boss, yes.
Yes.
So, are you going to offer them a job? What's the deal here?
Very least, we're going to offer some medical services to them in exchange for returning the goods that they have stolen, and that will give us an opportunity to actually check them without being intrusive. Are they actually criminals, or are they just down on their luck?
I did take like 3 medkits with me.
All right. All right.
And after that, we can actually, decide for good.
All right. Who here thinks they've got the medical chops?
Me.
You?
I'm trained too.
All right. Well, then whoever thinks they have the medical chops, if you want multiple people to do it, again, helping, task change, you can do that too.
That's normal, right? Average.
Yeah, you're just looking at a bunch of people with their basic injuries, helping out where you
I
can.
do have medic one, so I could assist.
Sure, if you insist.
Yes. Would that be once again intelligence? as a modifier?
Yes. My education,
Okay.
whatever.
Well, let's see. It's a +1 then.
In that case, yes, a +1 because that's how task chains work. Let me see if that's on this table actually.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is. That's pretty cool. Nice. Man, this sheet really tells me what I need to know. How nice. After administering some assistance and taking a look around this place, these are definitely just people who are down on their luck, not like career criminals who woke up one day and were like, I'm gonna shoot some innocents. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Like their story of they were probably just farmers who got down on their luck checks out.
Yeah, I will talk to them as I'm doing the medical services. Just people tend to talk about their stuff while they're getting.
If we were playing it, if we were playing like that alien game where you have an empathy system, I would make you rule empathy because these are a lot of sad sob stories.
Ooh.
Delta Green, you're exposed to helplessness. Lose sanity.
I can probably empathize with them. My society is -1, and theirs is probably lower or similar. So.
Rolling an empathy roll because things are bad is not a thing you want to do. It's the equivalent of getting sucked up into someone else's sadness and getting negatives as a result.
I'll be crying with them. For the next
Your
Yeah.
bedside manner is impeccable.
Although the tears are a bit excessive.
Crying into their wounds.
That's
Saline.
unsafe.
Saline.
That's not sanitary.
All right, kids. All right, enough of that. What do you want to do with all this information that you've gathered so far?
So, they're down on their luck. They might be open to actual work because, hey, living in bumfuck nowhere is not fun. They're relatively low tech level. They have a lot of sub stories, which means they might be susceptible to an actual offer. And because nobody was really doing anything, maybe we can figure something out. Obviously, the drought is a problem, but we can, again, perhaps try and drill a well at least
This is
for
probably a
watering the
stupid
crops.
idea, but what if we set up a halfway house?
Explain.
Like
I mean, to where?
a
What would be
purpose
the
for
other
them
part of it?
to a purpose, a way for them to rejoin the community.
At this rate, you guys are you're really overestimating how many resources you have available. Setting up halfway houses,
Okay.
drilling wells. Take it easy, one step at a time. Don't spend your
Okay,
millions
okay.
of
No,
credits
I
on.
understand that. Well, drilling a well is not necessarily that expensive or bad because I drilled a well in my own backyard.
Ooh.
Cool. You and your higher tech level stuff.
It's not higher tech level stuff.
It is
I
higher tech
literally
level
hired
than the people
somebody
here.
They don't have
excavator.
a
Fair
shovel?
enough. That makes
Also,
sense.
it's really dry, so the aquifer is ever seeded. So,
Makes sense.
like, do you think people haven't tried?
Probably tried, but with that low level, we might be able to drill a little deeper. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well then. So again, what's the plan, kids?
I have no idea.
Honestly, same.
We
Like,
came here trying not to kill them, but rejoin them into the community. That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's going to be hard for the town to accept them, considering that they're probably known criminals at this point.
That's why I wanted to set up
Yes.
a halfway house, even though we don't have money for it.
Maybe if you had some friends in high places.
We
Maybe.
do.
Then call in for assistance.
Like maybe if you were planning to have a meeting with a very powerful and influential individual in town.
Oh, we do have a meeting. Oh, we have something to talk about in that meeting. I think we should go have a meeting now. It's time.
Sure. And if it doesn't work out, maybe that other farmer who bought a water pump
yeah,
might
let's
be
talk to
interested in
Dan.
hiring. Now that his shit actually works.
Like if he's
Let's
abusing
talk to
his
Dan.
power, we can take his water pump and bring it to these people.
So I would like to remind you that this water pump is several stories tall and would require significant disassembling to move anywhere.
Well, yeah.
No, we're not moving it, but basically they would be working for the guy.
So
Maybe they would be hiring. Now, just again, just to get the scope of it, how many people are we talking about?
it's
Or
about a
is this
dozen.
like 100 people? A dozen. Well, a dozen people, they can probably hire a dozen workers. But we'll need to ask. So no promises, obviously.
How many
Alright.
medkits did I spend on them? Just to ask that real quick.
Oh,
I took
nothing. Don't
33,
worry about
right?
it.
Okay.
It's not like you were tearing out organs or anything.
I mean, hopefully.
We call that a no-no in the medical field.
Not on the field. We do that at home.
As you head outside of their little cute forest camp, you see one of them like looking at your car, giving it the once over, like, what is this thing? Why are these wheels so springy?
Oh, so you can go so you can drive on uneven terrain. It's amazing.
He just gives you a weird look. This thing's silly. Trains have hard
It is.
wheels. Thus, why does this thing not have hard wheels? He got you. He got you, and he walks away just like, I got you, dummy.
Whatever makes you feel better, but
Wow, he got us.
we got
We
gotten.
got had. Oops.
Well, that went
Well,
somewhere.
let's call that. Like, I guess our only choice is to phone Dad and get some advice.
Now we can call him the phone. That's exactly.
You decide to call
I mean,
Willard.
yeah.
Bring, telephone, bring.
Hello.
Some reconnecting later. Willard answers his phone. And he's like,
Hello?
hi. How are things going? I hope you're not stuck in some well and I have to take you out again.
Wait,
Who's talking
again?
to him?
What did I miss? Who's calling him? That, because I think it's not me.
Listen, it's one of those car phones everyone can chime in if they want to.
Oh.
Enough. All right, in that case, I'm going to report the situation. I'm going to say that we have 12 people that are down there, like, blah, blah, blah. We're looking to maybe reintegrate them in, back in, so that they would stop causing problems for the rest of the community. And I'm going to ask if they have any ideas.
It's the cheapest way to solve the problem.
Well, I mean, this guy is looking for like, Well, now that he thinks about it, his estate could use some landscapers, could use some security, could use a little life, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe with
Yes.
some locals under his wing, maybe he could get some integration into society, you know? As you are all thinking already. So he's like, if you're willing to like guarantee that they're not going to be trouble, sure.
What the
I'm
heck
gonna
is
have
that
to
noise?
go back to them now.
Seriously, what the hell is this
Ray,
noise?
What are you doing?
Someone is
What are you
killing us.
doing? Making horrible noises.
Yeah, it's like really bad
directly into
static.
the microphone.
Rain is shooting at us.
Sorry, I'm just trying to extract some bit from a glass, Bob. I'm gonna do it farther away.
Yeah.
The bobs do not have to land on the mic for us to understand what's going on.
There is a mute option.
Well done.
So, as I mentioned, your boss is like, sure, I think this
Yes.
is an interesting idea worth trying, if you think it's a good idea, because I don't know all that well, as long as you're willing to stand in for their good behavior.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I mean, I'm going to kick their ass if they break something, so. Yeah. I'll stand by my decision.
Yeah,
We can tell them that this is their only chance.
This
because it is, to be fair.
This can only
We
work
can
out with you guys not racking up a huge debt.
Yeah.
Oh, Animal Crossing. Okay, so your boss is like, cool, and gives you the okay through the radio, as it were. Go ahead
We
and
gotta
give
go
him the
talk
good
to them.
news.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go to them.
He also says that some guy came over today.
Oh,
Like, you've been gone for a while. You had to drive here. You had to take care of medical treatment. You had to talk with them about their history. You've been here a bit. And he says that this weird fancy pants guy showed up.
What did he want?
Yes. Is it
Well,
someone we know?
it's... Let me pull up his name for you. I think it was Jaden.
the
Jaden
boy who was
Richards.
arguing with the angry butch in the street, right?
The Jaden guy who left a note in your car. The son of Jude.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
No, he is.
We've got it.
He showed up and he was like, "Hey, let's go on a little hunting trip today and have some discussions about the well-being of the town and potential, tech negotiations. I would love to hear more."
Like, give us a little bit, bud.
Fair
So
enough.
yes, you get that over the video phone as well.
Are they still there? Are they still waiting for us?
Yes. Like, he doesn't want to go
Okay.
without, like, someone to make sure that this guy, if he shanks him in the back, at least there's someone to drag him away.
Fair
Aw,
enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
that's fair.
tell the people here the hiring offer, and then come back and deal with Jaden.
They're a little skeptical, but hey, if things don't work out, they're just some wacky out-of-towners. No one will miss them. Bang, bang.
You know what I mean? They have nothing to lose.
Things can only go up.
Mhm.
Luckily, this car is hella fast, so driving your way back is pretty easy.
Heck
Yeah.
yes.
It's livelier in town now since the day has gone on. Some people are here to get their midday drink. Because,
Day
oof,
drinking.
it's hot. And getting something with a little bit more flavor than some brackish well water is great.
I mean, look, they're just having a siesta.
On your way there, you'll pass by someone that you also know.
Oh, whoa.
It's that lady.
Who?
You know, the one you cordially invited to come on over?
Well, howdy, Louise.
You hang
You
out.
need a ride?
Are you up for a hunting trip?
She's all like,
We're gonna
"Oh,
go camping some years.
hey there, guys. You on the road too? I figured I'd meet you there if we see you coming from there instead of the other way around. Where you been?"
We've been providing some opportunities, some new chances.
Well, gosh, that's a good thing to hear. Always nice to see people looking out for to the future instead of the present.
One issue is we really need some drills, and we don't have any.
Well, you're gonna need some big manufacturing equipment for that, but if things work out well, we might be able to work our way up to that. We just gotta keep building.
This just keeps swimming.
I mean, this place could always use a bit of art. So, can I come along to the building? Because it's a bit of a walk.
I mean,
We're
Sure.
heading in the same direction.
yeah. If you don't mind, like, are all of the criminals with us?
No,
Yeah,
they're
well,
presumably gonna go on their own mounts.
Yeah, they need to like pack up this stuff and whatever.
Your car does not have
Yeah.
sufficient capacity for all of them.
This is why
Oh.
I asked. Like,
What do you mean this is
Depends
the
on how.
minibus?
Depends on how much you chop them up, but yes.
Depends on how clown car you want to go.
What do you mean I'm not driving a minibus? Lies.
Considering there's a whole wet bar in here.
we have a soccer mom-sized vehicle, but no soccer team.
What a beautiful world we live in.
Your team is 11 players, not 12.
Well, sure. Can we scoot over to make some room for Louise?
There's room for 6 in this car, so yes, you can easily take her with you.
Got it.
Driving
Yeah.
your way up, you notice that Louise has a big bag with her, which is filled to the brim with old college books.
Oh,
She's like excited to get going on some cool, fancy equipment.
She's done.
Along the way, she will viciously interrogate you about all the specific equipment that you have there.
I silently point to our mech boys and the tech lads.
Yes. I'm going to explain in general detail what we actually have, but without saying, "Oh, we have 15 of that over there and over here, etc." I mean, I bore people with technical details. Probably not this time, though.
Depending on who you are, the fact that there's now this
This girl is a technical detail, so
Anyway, you were saying?
depending on who you are, the fact that there's now this avid discussion about technology in the background means that the trip will now take longer or shorter. Your choice. At least as how it feels, I mean. I'm not talking about the actual distance or anything.
Got it.
It may or may not be excruciating to listen to this.
Look, it's always fun to listen to people who are passionate about their stuff.
Once you finally roll up, Dravid's standing outside, ready to receive you, opening up the gate and everything, letting you in, checking in with the lady and who she is.
Oh, there are gonna be 12 people coming over later. They look like bandits, but they're gonna be help.
I already heard the word, yes. Don't worry about it. We'll get this squared away nice and tight.
Just keep an eye on them for the first couple of days.
So they adjust.
It'll be it'll be real nice to be able to walk around the garden without it being overgrown. So yeah.
And you will get some assistance, probably.
Anyway, the boss wants to see you in his office. He's got some friendly fellow over.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And the boss will get a secretary as well.
All right. It might be a smart idea to split up a little bit, get to Louise to where she needs to be, and get the people who want to help with this situation over where they need to be.
Yes.
Mhm.
So who's going where? Kids?
I'm gonna go bore the lady with technical details. You guys go talk with the boss, then don't forget to ping me. And we're gonna go hunting.
Sure thing. I can also go with Louise because besties.
Hunting trip. Hunting trip.
Hunting trip. Hunting trip.
I'm gonna look something very specific up right now. So with Louise, what
And
do you want to?
today we're going to play the most dangerous game. And and then Arthur is like, "Yes, knife monopoly." And then the guy's like, "I was planning to hunt you all for sport, but now I'm interested. Tell me more."
We can do Russian roulette monopoly.
Yeah, fucking Russian roulette with a semi-automatic pistol. Sure.
Yes, let's go. But everyone has to do it,
Yes.
even after the first guy dies.
Yes.
All right. So what do you want to show her first then? The communications and electronics, the workshop, the vehicles, the armaments room,
In that order.
the power core reactor.
Actually, in an order that she's interested in specifically, I suppose. Go and show her around.
Okay. Well, she heads on over to the communications panel with you first. The electronics room, which like most starships contains it contains a mini internet on it, or at least it has access to the
I'm going
mini
to show
internet
her
of the
around,
starport.
but I'll try to avoid excessive detail. I'm not going to give her the passwords and everything.
She starts doing a lot with that communications device. Like, there's a lot of bleeping and blooping. She starts like, she knows how computers work, and the first time she pushes a button, she's like, "Oh, that works. Oh, that works. Oh, that works. Oh, that works." And she just starts cycling through this thing.
I'm going to keep an eye on her just so she doesn't fucking delete system.
Does
32
anyone here have
folder.
any knowledge regarding weather patterns or climatology or anything in that field?
Professional biologicals, does that help?
No. You cheeky
Can we use
boy.
that skill for everything?
Unfortunately, the atmosphere is not made out of small, insignificant, tiny creatures, so it does not in fact count as biologicals.
I have a general idea on physics, but I don't think I have an actual climatology skill.
Well, if you have science, it at the very least always counts as zero science in all areas, because you know a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. So, what would be intellect or education, right?
Education or intellect, it's whatever. You're kind of winging it here.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's swing it. So it's a 13.
So you start to realize that she's not just randomly flicking through things, and at first you're like, is she trying to figure something out, like about the security systems or anything?
Mhm.
And then oh, by the way, I noticed that there's now armor sections on your sheet. Neat. You realize that what's really going on is a bit more nuanced. She's looking at a bunch of what's it called, like aerial shots, because this thing can pull up all kinds of starport, like the weather monitoring system, pictures that ships take as they fly by, because you need to be away from the planet for a good distance. So most ships just take a little trip somewhere away from the
Okay.
moon mostly. So, oh, taking a close look, there is a massive depression coming this way.
Is it time
Mood.
to
By depression, of course, I mean the horrible, terrible, massive storms that sit where high and low pressure areas meet, and the air gets squeezed dry of all of its water.
Yep.
Looking at some of the data, you're looking at like feet of water, like a
Hey,
flash
the plants
flood.
will be okay. The plants will be okay.
Behind it seems to be
Yeah.
a
No,
much.
they won't be.
Behind
Yeah,
it seems to
flash
be.
floods aren't good.
Sorry, guys. Don't interrupt, Safi, please.
You know, I could say the same for you, Mister. Starts talking the second I wait for a moment to let everyone clear their thoughts.
Yes.
Point is, taking a close look at this information, behind it is a much larger, like rainy area that would probably clear this drought up, but so it's like big, massive flood, and then like a nice, gentle rain that can soak into the soil.
All right, that is useful information. How dangerous exactly is that flash flood
It's
going to
several
be?
feet of water, dude.
Well,
If
you said
this,
a foot.
foots, I said foots.
Oh, feet. Okay, fair enough. Foots.
It's gonna be foots of water.
Yes, it's teeth paste, and you know it.
It's feet steps.
Yes.
If this storm does not lose a significant portion of its rain properties, or whatever you want to call it, there is a non-zero chance that the water is going to be so extreme that any pre-existent crops are probably going to get washed away. More important, it's going to be sufficient water to break down most non-reinforced buildings. This house will be fine. It's on a small hill, and it's well fortified, and it's made out of modern materials. But the vast majority of the town probably won't be okay unless they take some preparations or evacuate or something.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
When is this
How
gonna
much time do we have?
You have some time. Like, it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be the day after tomorrow. But it's also not going to be next month. It's going to be before then.
Okay, so just for the sake of reference, you did mention that the passing ships and such could help with this sort of thing. Um, there are ways to control weather and dissipate stuff and basically destroy clouds. Whatever.
Without a concentrated,
Would any of
organized,
that be
without a concentrated, organized effort and an industrial system that can back it up, there is no logistics that could take care of the storm in a significant fashion. Unfortunately.
okay? Fair enough. Preparation would be a more realistic
Now,
way to do it then.
I say that technically, if there were someone in an adjacent system jumping right now with the necessary supplies, they could do it. The problem is you can't go faster than light speed, so someone would have to leave, take about 2 weeks, and then come back and take about 2 weeks. And by that point, the storm's already here.
Hmm.
Now, you can do some work this fashion. There are probably some supplies to take care of this, particularly for the starport, but
How often do flash floods happen in this area?
oh, they're quite common. Like once a year, there's this massive flood that just lasts a day, and it just wrecks everything and doesn't help with the water problem.
Right, that makes sense. Now, is it something that the locals have learned to deal with, or is it just something that happens and they just rebuild the house in the same spot?
They've kind of grown used to it, but that doesn't mean that you're not sure if this is a big one or a small one compared to what it usually is. No frame of reference.
Even even with the input of the lady?
She hasn't been here in a while. She went to college, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is she learned this stuff. She knows this better than I do.
Yeah, in general,
So
not in
maybe
like
she has a
context for
general
Rack
idea.
and Goal and its local population.
I mean, fair enough. That makes sense. Well, in that case, we can cross-reference. Does she know anyone in town who would be knowledgeable about this stuff?
Probably anyone who got hit by the flash flood, so most people.
Okay, fair
If
enough.
you want to, you can easily gather that information yourself, yes.
Okay, well, in that case, here's an idea. How about we use those 12 dudes to basically help to reinforce the town so it doesn't get washed away?
You start thinking
Set
up
up
some
some sunbucks and such.
you start thinking up
Yeah.
some plans as to how to handle the situation. In the meantime, some people are meeting up with your boss, where also is Mr. Jaden, who is indeed a fancy-looking boy. Jaden is sitting on the desk, whereas Willard himself sits behind it. This, in any formal business context, would be taken as a big faux pas, but they seem to be chumming it out, and Willard is not like a straight suit, so it's like, they're just chumming.
Mhm.
Who is meeting up with these dudes?
Me.
Yeah, I'm meeting.
Jaden, upon seeing you, gets up and immediately extends his hand. Jaden Richards. Hopefully heir to the richest businesses.
I shake his hand and say, "My name's Arya Reynolds. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Mm-hmm. Let's just take a look at a sheet. He has a pretty firm handshake, for what it's worth. Jesus. There's a lot of drilling happening, so occasionally my thought process gets broken.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, at least they're not drilling into my teeth, and I'm doing this while I'm at the dental surgeon. You got the snapping of bones, baby.
I remember when they were doing some surgery to take samples of my bone. That was fun.
Either way, I have already agreed with your fine boss to go on a little hunting trip, although I seem nervous about potential attacks. So you can take care of your little discussions, and I'll be waiting outside if you need any follow-up questions. Because I would love to discuss the details. He takes his leave, leaving you with the boss, who's like, "Oh, I'm so excited."
Good.
By the way, the best way to describe this office is someone looked up an office picture, like a stock photo, decorated it like that, and then let some dust settle on it. He does not know what an office is supposed to look like at all. It's just a little messy.
Fucking amazing.
He just knows he's supposed to have one, so he has one.
It's a prefabricated office.
Yep.
Everything still has wrap on it.
He does,
Bubble
however,
wrap.
excitedly stand up and walk over and go, "Man, this man is very interesting. He'd love to talk with me about all kinds of things, military logistics, firearm maintenance, all those fun things they just don't get to talk around with anyone around here." Problem is, I'm a little nervous. It might be well, David is a little bit nervous that it might be a, what's it called? A trap, an ambush, entrapment.
Well, don't forget to take me with you then.
Point is, he wants to
Also
talk.
not here.
Point is, he wants to talk to me about some business negotiations. Since I apparently have contacts in the Imperium and a big communication dish that can contact people, he wants to talk to me about renovating and improving this place. The problem is, I'm not. Shamefully, he lays out, "I'm not really a businessman or anything. So if you could just like whisper some things into my ear while I'm there and keep an eye out for like potential problems, that'd be great."
Could definitely try.
Well, as long as this dude is not just using you for his fancy phone.
He also lays out some more subtle details that might be interesting.
Mhm.
Have you seen his mother yet?
Once in
only-
a restaurant.
yeah,
right?
only
Yes.
for instance.
Yes, he kind of wants to off her. She's apparently a big problem. Doesn't want to renovate or anything too, you know. And considering she owns the only real way into town. Point is, I think making friends with this guy might be a good thing, if only for my mental health.
Yeah, as much as
Now,
I
just
could.
to take a reference, I'm not there, but like, is he talking about assassination?
Hey,
No,
if you
just-
want to help, he won't say no.
Okay, old lady. Here's your pills. Take your prune juice.
Don't forget your lead injection. Oh no, she's a
Just
hag.
push the
She's immune
grandma
to
down the
physical
stairs or
damage.
something. Yeah, well, yeah, non-magical physical damage. So we have to enchant the stairs that we push her down with magic weapon.
Get it with a silver bullet.
We have to plate the whole stair in silver.
Yes, exactly.
What's
That or
this
cold
renovation
steel. I think
about,
cold
Sonny?
steel works, too. Anyway, we're devising new ways of safely descending stairs. Would you like to test? God, this is so horrible. No.
Should we like invite her for a nice little bottle of wine in the basement? It's a very good bottle of wine.
I mean,
What are you
technically, it
going
doesn't
to
matter how you get
Rick
rid of her.
Burn?
It's more a case of like she owns the company still, and he wants to make some big
Yeah.
sweeping changes because he's like, I see money in this stuff. I like money.
I mean, is she sane?
You'll have to discuss those details yourself later. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fair
For
enough.
now, Willard is like, listen, this guy is open to conversations. I get along with him so far. I don't know how much
Yeah.
of this is legit, so we're gonna go on a little hunting trip. We're gonna iron out some details. I need someone to whisper sweet nothings into my ear to keep me straight because I'm not a negotiator of any kind.
That's fair enough. See, this guy actually relies on his advisors. So yeah, fair enough. Let's go.
Who's in the room again?
I'm not there.
Yep, me and Lisa.
Gorsh, zoinks,
What's up?
and all those fancy
up?
words. All right, cool. So, After a little bit of time, I presume that little Louise has been showing around the place a little bit. And she's like,
Please,
"Gosh,
yes.
I think if we can import some things, I can make a lot of. I can make some small microchips, manufacturing devices, build some small 3D printers. I can get a lot going with the right resources."
That could work.
The fun part about 3D printers is that you download the 3D printer and then you print the 3D printer, and then you return the rented 3D printer.
At that
That's
point,
how they reproduce. Yes.
things get funny.
Oh my god. What? What do you mean?
Because at that point, you've got your gray goo. The world will be 3D printers.
Well, it's a little too big for gray goo. More like a pile of just 3D printers
Point is,
printing each other. Yes.
unless someone wants to have a finer discussion with Willard about the details of the situation or give him some tips ahead of time.
You should probably give him some tips though.
Yeah, I mean, they can give him kind of a brief rundown of like.
They have already talked in private, so.
Argus, can you leave the other players to make their own decisions?
Oh yeah, sure.
You could probably use your admin with education if you wanted to give them some head tips.
Yeah, I can do that, I guess.
Unless you have some tips you as a player and in physical concrete knowledge want to give, that's also allowed.
I mean, I don't know anything about business really, other than like vague memories of high school economics, but that doesn't really help anybody.
Nah. Too bad economics isn't a skill. I'm sure everyone would love it.
And that class was terrible too, so.
Oof.
I know
So-
things about this.
You decide to give him some quick pointers on how to manage a good negotiation. This primarily involves just making sure that he doesn't agree to things unconditionally and tries to keep a level head as to what those what are the long-term implications. Think long-term. Like you're going into negotiation with someone you don't know who might just be hawking you. Like get a feel. Focus on finding compromises. If he wants a lot of money and you don't have any money, maybe he wants a thing and you can give him the thing instead.
Plus, this guy looks like he knows a lot about business and will probably try to get a deal that benefits him and not you at any opportunity. So, don't let him run rings around.
If you're uncertain, just call us over the subvocal. Yeah. Does the other person in this room want to speak some words of confidence into him?
Oh, God, I don't know anything about business. Just, I guess it's mostly just trying not to try and figure out like why he's asking for
What his
certain
angle
things.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. You puff him up a little bit with a nice pep talk, and he's like, "Oh, all right. I'll give him a good talking to, and we're gonna figure something out. You guys are."
I can definitely accompany you on the trip if you need more help on the spot.
I want someone in the background, like someone to watch me. David will be there with me there personally, but he'll probably get caught up in the conversation a bit too much.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to accompany you, but again, I'm not sure how much I could add to the.
Do you have a good gun arm?
Are
Are you strong?
Decently.
Then at the very least you can drag me out of trouble in case I get knocked unconscious from a poison, or a poison dart, or a poison bomb,
Good point. I will be your bodyguard.
or a poison bullet, or a poison umbrella.
Or a poison word.
Listen, he doesn't know how nobility take care of each other with poison. He's just guessing at things to try and sound smart.
Easy there, worm tongue.
The guy outside eventually is let back in, and they start like discussing like, oh, where we're gonna go and how we're gonna get there. We're like, we're going to take the Keans, take the local resident travel method. While you two will probably be in a car.
Yes.
I'm gonna be going with them. I just wasn't attending this meeting because
Yes, it's assumed that after this conversation, the two of you sort of meet together to discuss all the details you want.
Can I just do something when they finish with this?
Yes.
don't move on to until I do my thing too.
There's no rush. So go ahead. What do you want to do?
Oh, I wanted to search the compound for any kind of gun-ish and explosives of any kind.
Well, I very much appreciate the fact that you want to get a big bomb to blow the place up.
Doesn't have to be a big bomb. It could be a smaller bomb.
You do have access to the gun cabinet, and as I mentioned, the following items are located inside of it, if any of them catch your attention.
Thank you. No explosives.
Unfortunately, no. Those are not standard issue with a building like this for some reason.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe they use them all to keep the garden somewhat pretty.
I will
I'm
keep
gonna
my
take the
taser.
double-barrel shotguns.
Handsome. All right. Well, as I mentioned, you're kind of meeting up and discussing on what you're going to do next. What is the plan, kids? I know that 3 of you are going to go with the bodyguard duty. What are the other 2 going to do?
Trying to prepare the town would be a good idea for the group because I know we've got time, but that would definitely be a way to improve standing with people.
Yeah, like we can do some organization because we really will need at least, canals of some sort to drain the water because it's not going to drain into the soil until much
Yes.
later. So
So-
it has to go somewhere.
So, as you think of that idea, you do realize that you don't really have any contacts in town who could back you up with some authority to be like, oh, this guy knows what
Yeah.
he's talking about. But your boss is talking to someone who might help with that. Maybe
Yeah.
what you could in the meantime is take a look around town and estimate like the geography, the geology, like what is the soil, what is the angle of like what is the elevations located, and where do the canals need to go. You know,
We can do that bit at least. I hope.
yes, scope out some of the towns. Prep work and getting advanced knowledge is way more useful than you think it is, because then you know where to send people and what to make them do.
Yeah.
People are
And we can
always.
also scope out like just how many people have the supplies needed. Like
What are you gonna do
a
with
good
Louise?
plan. Yeah, like a good plan doesn't mean anything if there isn't like 2 shovels to go around.
Yep.
This is hyperbole.
Got to check
But
out the
yeah.
shops, see what they have.
Hmm.
Now, as I mentioned, what are you gonna do with Louise? You're just gonna leave her here or what?
Hmm. Like, would she be
We
even?
could ask her where she feels
Yeah.
more
Like,
useful.
and if she needs supervision or something, we do have other people here to ask. The secretaries.
Well, what she personally, gosh, to give the long and short of it, what she wants is she wants some financial means to start ordering large amount of supplies to start manufacturing and production.
Mm.
Like she's like, I want to kickstart this place. I want to make a big place out of it. I'm gonna need money. I'm gonna need a transporter. I'm gonna need all these things.
I
So-
love her.
So she's like, I'm gonna need that phone. I'm gonna need to see the equipment. I'm gonna spruce this place up.
That's
Probably-
one for Dad to answer. Like, he's the one with the money here.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
perfectly valid, but we will need to draft up a budget first.
Yeah.
Also,
'Cause-
there's
Yeah, we're not gonna have. If we don't have the resources to pull basically to drill a well on a short notice, we might not have the resources to order large quantities of goods
Yeah.
either.
yeah, and
So far, we haven't had any luck kickstarting a hole in the ground. Like, an economy is a bit much at once.
I mean, explosives would help with that one if someone has them.
How do people not have 5 million credits between you two? Economy's in shambles.
It's the peasantry, darling.
also
Cool.
there is
So-
Rongva, the receptionist person here, who probably knows the financials decently. You could probably direct her over there.
Yeah, so she can like make a list.
Yeah, have her and Louise work together and trying to
What a
manage
great idea.
funds, whatnot.
Hell yeah.
She does have very good administration skills. So yeah, you decide to put the 2 in one room and make them kiss. Kiss on the papers, that is, with a pen.
Love wins.
Like set some fluorescent mood lighting
Mm.
filing cabinets.
Nothing
Put up
quite
some
like
disco
plastic
music.
roses.
Mm-hmm.
And aluminium Christmas tree.
Yeah. What's more romantic than an aluminum Christmas tree?
Also, she has broker skills, so yeah, I think that getting Wrongfa hit up with her is a good idea.
2
Yes.
aluminium Christmas trees.
Let's knock accountants.
Let's not get too hasty here with the 2 trees. Anyway, you set the 2 up, get him in a room, you let them all talk it out. What do you tell Wrongfa about this lady and how you know her and what she's here for?
Mm-hmm.
I assume you fill her in on what the big idea here is, and she's like, as long as she doesn't plunder the bank account, I'll be okay with it.
Makes sense.
Eric.
She has very grandiose plans.
Yeah.
Please keep an eye on that so we don't end up with fucking 60 million bricks or something.
Listen, when I started making the orders, I ordered 60 million bricks and I was out of money all of a sudden. How did that happen?
Oh my god. Remember that? I was trying to be sure, so I ordered a quintillion of eggs. Quintillion of eggs? That's a quintillion of eggs. Oops.
Do we even have enough butter for all those omelets? And he's like, wait, what? I don't even have enough pans.
Yeah, exactly. So be careful about that stuff.
All right, people. Some people are just spending the whole day taking a look around town, getting inventory, a lay of the land. A good idea as to what might be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try and keep this guy safe.
Some people, however, are in a car and are just driving behind 2 people on birds who are just going around the place into the wilderness. Who's in this car again? I know that Miss Gecko is here. I think
I'm driving.
Aria's here.
I'm riding shotgun, literally and figuratively.
So the whole party is here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we all need to go.
Just a couple of us.
Yeah, you can drop us off in town, right? To do the inventory.
Oh, if y'all want to go, I'm gonna go to town then.
Mm-hmm.
So when's the trip? When's the outing with the? Is it Willard? No, I know we've got Willard and Jaden.
Yeah, that's where we're heading off to now.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that's literally what you're doing right now.
Sorry, I'm still waking up.
Yeah, that's literally everyone during most of my games all the time, even if it's like 10 in the evening. I don't know how they did it, but they were tired at 10 p.m. They were like, "Man, I just woke up." I was like, "How do you wake up at 10 p.m.?" He's like, "No, I woke up at 12," and I'm like, "You woke up at 12 and you're sleepy from waking up at 10."
You have
Yeah.
to look no further than me. I am always sleeping, and when I'm not sleeping, I'm playing D&D.
The only reason.
So yeah, if everyone is going to bodyguard this guy, I don't want to be like an additional person. I can go to town.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Max is just gonna take a look at the town and put that. What? Let's see. Oh, he has mechanics and explosives, so he probably knows like a little thing. Oh, he even has recon. Yeah, Max is gonna get this sorted out. He's gonna get you a good map to work with.
Yeah.
And if
Christ.
someone needs help, I'm gonna help them and say that the guy at the hill house sent me.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He knows what he's up for. Animal reactions. I'm looking for just a nice little animal sheet that I can use, just in case something happens. How big is a beast? Man. So, while Max is getting a lay of the land, you go along with this business trip. The 2 of them
Yes.
seem to be having a jolly good time. Jaden is a businessman, but he's still in his element. Pointing out this drilling is so hilarious. Yes, I get it. Thank you. I can't focus like this. Ugh. Point is, he seems to be in his element, having a fun discussion. Occasionally, you get this little ping over the radio of like, listen, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's using this word. He's using these words. What do they mean? Luckily, our local admin lady is very good at her job and manages to provide some assistance. Things
Hooray.
seem to be going well. Whoever's keeping a lookout, can you roll me some recon?
Absolutely. Let's see if I have the skill. Nope. But I could try.
That's more excellent in the known universe.
I'm guessing if I was bodyguard, I'd be looking out as well.
Yeah,
Like, I have
that's-
1 recon, so can assist.
Yeah, I've got 2 modify and recon.
You have 3 people
Good.
looking out. Like,
The only relevant thing that I have is probably one of those little drones, but that's about it.
That would let you use sensorious. The remote stuff.
Sure.
All right. I'll allow you to decide for yourself if you would prefer to. So here's the thing: with this role, you can effectively sort of see threats coming ahead of time and act accordingly, or you can let those threats come and try to pretend to be big. You know, how do you want to handle this? Because you will see threats in the distance that you might run into and guide them another way, or something else, whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly like that. I'm going to guide them around. I'm going to say, hey guys, there's like, for example, a big motherfucker. I don't know what kind of animal it is yet, but you might want to turn slightly to your right.
You decide to avoid trouble for now.
Yeah.
And successful you are, keeping yourself on a straight track. This, however, does not persist for long. Eventually, you pick up something quite interesting. It's a bunch of individuals, well armed, who are sprinting full speed towards where you are located, specifically where your boss is. Your drone picked them up in the distance before, and you were thought, oh, they're just like ranchers or just hunters or something. But they're now running straight towards where your boss is at.
Okay, I'm going to tell the boss to get back in the car and to take his buddy in with him.
The boss is like, listen, these are high quality Keans. We're not just leaving these behind. In case
Do you want to
didn't.
leave your life behind?
I have no fear of a few bandits, if that's a matter. Do you think me a coward?
That is fair enough,
Wait.
but we can literally they can literally keep pace with the car. We can tie them up to the car and then drive at a convenient speed away and then see what's up with those people
Very well.
before you get shot up or abducted.
Very well. So how many people are in the car again? I think it's like the party -1, right?
Yeah.
There's not enough
Well,
space
I mean,
for everyone in that case because Dravid is also here.
no. At least a couple people went to town. 3, in fact, I believe.
Can we reestablish who's where?
Yes.
Eliza is here.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur is in the car. I believe Max went to town.
Didn't
yeah,
we
Max
do?
went down.
Didn't we?
Yeah,
Like,
I
are
went
we?
down. I'm just muted. I'm here. I'm listening to you guys.
Okay, so are we doing the preparation for the flood right now or after
Yeah.
the hunting trip?
This hunting
We were
trip will take a
splitting
while.
up.
Then I'm in town, buds. Lol. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, y'all don't need me. I have a taser and a big mouth. You
Yeah.
can handle. You can handle fighting.
You could, well, I mean, you could be useful. You could just eat the enemies.
You know what?
Delightful.
Maybe. That's a
mean-
plan. That's a whole plan.
You did say you have big mouth. There you go.
Yeah.
You get them into the
We
car,
got-
tie the animals down,
Yes.
and decide that it's time to put the pedal to the metal, as it were.
Yes.
A good call. Once they get close enough, because it does take a moment to tie the animals down, get them a little bit assured, get everyone in, properly fit it. You suddenly, I presume that your the bosses are sitting in the middle, like shielded away from gunfire,
Yes.
with Dravid in shotgun. Unless you wanted to sit next to his boss, he's okay with that. Point is that once these guys get close, you hear screaming in the distance, like, "Your mom sends a message, Jaden."
Shit.
And the Outlander too. We don't take kindly to big changes around here. And then you hear this clink as a bullet ricochets off the car.
Can I return fire?
At this point, we're going into initiative. We're going to have a proper fight. You chumps.
Wow.
Nice.
If I can pull up the character sheet, there's a section in there that I made for myself. There is a combat section in there that I can just hand out to you. Travel. Oh no! Shit. Why are you like this?
You good?
Why are you like this, Google Drive? I don't need this. Gear. Oh, reference. Cool. Okay, this is not something I can print out in a single page, but let's start off with the basic stuff. Your initiative is either your dexterity or your intellect, your wits, or your natural agility.
I'll go with wits for this.
Area, and Lisa. Here are some tokens for some goons.
Oh my god.
Cyberdog.
No, they're just
ATF is gonna hire me.
they're just combat stand-ins.
That's fair enough.
Cyberdogs.
Hold on, my microphone is acting up again. Excuse me, headset. Could you say something?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. There we go. I can hear you loud and clear now.
Arthur Asimov, where's your initiative?
I just rolled it.
What
It
is
was
it?
right up there.
What is the number?
11.
11.
20 seconds ago. 29, 44 seconds ago. Yeah, just scroll
Handsome.
a bit
Handsome.
before GH.
Cool. So once combat starts, you roll your initiative. But here's something fun. One of you can roll tactics if you have it, which enhances initiative on either side.
I do not.
Does anyone have leadership in that case?
Also, no.
I do not.
Oh well. For context, leadership gives you extra boon dice, so you can give bonuses. So that's nice. If you roll negative, then the enemy can force bane dice to happen, effectively showing the tactics work out or not. Marvelous.
Makes sense.
Let's get to the actual combat itself. It's really simple, but I think I'm just gonna pull this one up. Yes, I would like to copy the link. But to put it as blunt as possible, during your turn you get one significant action, which is an attack of some sorts, and a minor action, which is things like reloading and moving around or taking cover, etc., etc.
That makes sense.
You also get some minor actions, which are things like turning on the radio a little bit. You get a reaction, but you get as many reactions as you like, but everyone increases the dice modifier on your next roll, on your next turn, by 1. So careful with that.
Got it.
So here's the question, Mr. Como. Heroes go first. What do you do?
I'm going to pick the loudest one, the most obnoxious one. I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, cool. What kind of weapon are you using? Like, approximate range
I
is
do
important.
have a shotgun, so I'm going to have to let them closer unless there's some modifier.
They're within 50
actually
meters,
firing
don't worry.
Slugs. Okay.
Also, who's driving?
I assume that would be the either autopilot or my buddy.
If Draven drives, then that's fine, okay. Then you can all focus on the shooty bang bang stuff. Okay, well, you're taking out your shotgun. You're going to go for a shot. There's no armor class. In this game, you hit a base number, and that's it. That is 2d plus skill, which in your case I think is gun combat slug, and your dex modifier. You want to hit an 8 and up to do damage.
So 2D, you mean 2d6?
Yes.
So the usual. Okay, so I'm just rolling the gun combat then.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the way that effect works is it's added to the damage. So roll the damage for your weapon and add 3.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see.
No. I mean, this button.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. All right. Click. There you go.
Please, for the love of God, remember that wearing good armor can save your gosh dang life, because that is one hell of a shotgun blast.
Yes.
Let's take a look-see. Ooh.
So that's 17 total then.
Well, the biggest, loudest goon is going to be Mr. Oh yeah, that never rolls a number, actually. It is number 5. The last guy in initiative is hit for a... I don't think he's alive. Yeah, he goes down. He's not dead, but he immediately falls off of his horse as enough sprays hit him that he experiences the shock of pain. Whoop! Oh,
Now,
that's
assume
great.
I'm poking out at the top of the cart
Yes.
rather than the side.
As you poke out one of the... Oh, gosh darn it. Why are they all linked to the same...
I will, after shooting, try to lean back in again.
Unfortunately, you did poke out, which means this guy can take a
Yeah.
shot at you.
Well, that makes sense. I'm just not going to stay out there for all of them to do that.
Let's see, does he have a dex mod? Nope. He just has that... Oh, wait. That guy's not unconscious, because he... No, wait, that's 16 or 17. And you rolled 17. Okay, yeah, he's down. Plus 0, because he has no skill of note. That is a hit with 2 effects. 4 against you, mister.
Mhm.
His weapon rolls 2d... 2d6 plus 2.
That's
think
below 12, so I assume that does nothing.
I mean, to be fair, your armor is as thick as this fucking car, dude.
I'm sorry, I rolled it like that.
These
Basically
guys...
a mounted turret.
Yeah, Dizzy. For some reason, your token is called Dizzy. I assume that's some mistakes because we never put the tokens down, but hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, probably. Doesn't matter. I think. Is there any way for me to, like, you know, make sure, like, Jaden and the boss are safe? Like, kind of duck them down a little and put myself between them and the outside of the car?
Definitely. Definitely. We'll say that you're taking care of that so no stray shots can get him.
Yeah.
Rolling up the windows, as it were. GH. These gentlemen seem quite motivated in their attempt to perform a little assassination. Their aim changes as they realize that Mr. Como is made of solid steel. Which is to say that they're probably going to try to shoot at your tires.
Right. Okay.
If you need context, driving without tires is a bad thing.
Yes.
I understand. Just trying to think of what I could do. I don't really have any smoke grenades. I guess it's.
If you want to, you can always ask your boss, the guy here, to slow down a little bit. I mean, David has a gun with him, if you want his gun. If you want him to slow down and get closer to them, you can also ask for that.
No. Okay, I'm gonna ready my rifle then.
Okay? You can definitely do that and still take a shot, though.
Yeah. Then try and fire out one of the goons. Wait, it is so. What do they have? Is it just like pistols?
They all seem to have these big carbine rifles and pistols to their sides. They're armed.
Right. Okay. So I can't read. I'll try and shoot the one closest then.
So, as a quick note, your significant action, which is your big action, is mostly just used for damage or big important things. You get a minor action or 3 minor actions if you spend your significant action to convert it, which can be used to aim, which gives you a +1 to your next pew pew. Up to maximum of +3, 6. Sorry. You can use it to change your stance, pick up an item, do some stuff. Look around, assess the situation, try to help the situation, just so that you can deal with it. In general, don't think in terms of combat mechanics. Don't think like this is Pathfinder where it gives you the options. Think of the situation. You're getting shot at. You're in a car. You got a big gun. What do? What is the action hero spiel?
Oh wait, they're on horses, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and scare off the horses because it's a big gun. I'm gonna try and throw them off at least by just trying hitting the ground in front of them to at least spray dirt in their faces.
Oh goodness, that's a tricky thing, but it might just work. Go ahead and give me the check.
So if I aimed first, then it's a +1.
You're rolling opposed versus their animal handling, as they're trying to keep their animal under control in this spray of dirt and confusion. One of the armed goons suddenly has to contend with the fact that his horse... I know what it's called in Dutch, but I don't know what it's called in English. It's when the horse goes backwards and throws up their hooves.
To rear?
Oh yeah, what is
Horse,
that word?
Yeah, rearing up.
Rearing up, yes. That's the picture.
Yeah, that's what it is. The horse rears up as it's presented with this. Unfortunately, the fact that this reflex happens at all while it's moving at high speed and galloping results in a bit of an accident. You watch one of the goons boom, tumble head over heel. At this point, some shots will be taken. First, a GH, because the guy's like, "You shot my friend, I'll shoot at you." Pow, pow. Give us your boss and no one will get hurt. That's an exact hit, which means you just take 2d6 damage.
7.
Are you wearing armor?
Yes, I was with my own cloth armor, which is 8.
You take no damage, but the sting of a bullet slamming into ballistic cloth is always it's not good for your shoulders. You know that much. The other two will attempt to make shots
rib is better than.
at the wheels, which I'm going to say are difficult checks. How does this work again? Greater than 10? No, that's not how that works. Nope, that's a failure, despite being both. Oh, no, wait. I kind of want to know how this works, because that'd be great for me. I think count successes is the one. Okay, you rolled a 3. Shit, that's a critical failure, I think. Bullets fly towards you, but luckily, Dravid's nifty driving can keep you on your feet. Como, this does mean that the car swerves a bit.
That's fair enough.
I'm going to roll Dravid's drive ability, and we'll see if that implies any negatives to your situation.
Sure.
He has a total modifier of 2. Okay, nothing bad happens.
Now, just for the sake of reference, my suit does have magnetic boots, so I think I might be able to.
That would have alleviated if it was a problem, yes. We would have figured it out then.
Yes.
I would not recommend, however, gluing yourself to a car that's swerving, but hey.
I understand, yes. But, just as long as it don't fall out, at least.
Anyway, you're hanging out the skylight. Some people are shooting at your tires. They seem... It might be the adrenaline that's keeping them going, because do you think a sensible person would stop at this point with 2 injuries?
Well, these people have clearly shown that they have no sense of self-preservation, so I'm going to go out of my way to try and disable as many of them as possible. And if they survive, it will be a learning experience for them. Now, I assume that would be just the skill again for an attack.
Yes, against 8. So
Okay.
average.
Yes. Ooh, that's amusing. I guess that's swerving.
It isn't helping. And now that they know that you're armed and ready to go, they seem to be taking their own little defensive maneuvers.
Yes.
By the way, if you ever get shot and you're like, fuck, I would prefer not to get shot, you can do a thing called dodging, which allows you to apply your dex modifier or athletics dex modifier as a penalty to the attack. As you lovingly make it hard for people. I think that's only for melee attacks. No, it's dive for cover. Oof. Oof. Pew, pew. And that's only a -1 or a -2 if you go prone with it, and you lose your next action too. Ooh, don't get caught in a situation where diving for cover is the answer, kids.
I am the cover.
Dizzy. Willard does not want to sit still. He's like, his combat training is kicking in, and he's like, I need to get out my gun and start shooting.
He is driving, though.
No, Dravid is driving. Willard is your boss. He's like, I want to get out there and start shooting.
Is he wearing any sort of armor?
He is not wearing armor, so while his gun is very nice, it's not a good idea for him to hang out of the car.
I'd like to carefully put an arm on his shoulder and just kind of.
Argus, it's not your turn.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was also going to insist that he stay down. If he gets shot, then that's all over. Leave it to the people currently protected. And I gesture to the tin can pointing out the top of the car.
Roll me some diplomat.
Sure.
You can't use your education for this, but go ahead. Give it a go. Try and calm him down a little bit. Oh no. Though you try to calm him down, you're not too used to placating an individual who's like pumped. Like he already went on a bit of hunting trip. He shot at some animals. He's like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And you see him hang out of the car and discharge his firearm. Pew, pew. He is now at risk of being a valid target. and he doesn't even hit anything. Good job on him.
Dang it.
GH. The goons are probably going to see your boss in a moment and go like, one of our targets. We might just make away like bandits too. Anyway, It only
Alright.
invigorates their cause.
I'm gonna try and pull him back in. With
Handsome.
foresight.
I love it. Do you have athletic? Okay, give me some good old fashioned strength. As you're trying to reel your boss.
That worked.
That's why he missed. It's because when he got pulled back seconds later and his gun just fired at the blue.
Throw him out the opposite window. Yup.
I'm gonna say that one of the goons does get a quick cheap shot at him because he was out for a brief moment. Not gonna be an easy shot though, but you never ever know if someone might make it. Not like that, he ain't. The other two are still insistent on shooting at your tires. They're very delicious targets, and they keep missing. Listen, if you're not used to shooting car tires, it's very hard. Como. David is getting a little nervous, and he starts yelling at you that the car, things are fine, but the terrain's getting a bit rough, and he's not used to high-speed chases. It's been a bit. It's been a bit, and you start to feel the bumping.
That makes sense. Is it possible for him to keep it straight? Or delegate the driving to the...
Yeah, he can keep it good for now, but it's getting risky.
drone.
You need to take care of this. Or do something that can help.
I'd like to focus on taking down as many of those idiots as possible, because that is a service to the community.
Less assassins makes for good situations.
Yes. Alright, let me try to hit them. I would like to use the reroll. I don't want to to spend 2 turns not doing anything.
I would like to point out that rolling 2 ones is always a spectacular failure. Please
Yeah.
do.
That's why I waited for it. Let me roll Snake Eyes again.
If you do, we'll call it a fucking miracle. All right. Well, you still do damage because you're pretty good with that gun.
Yes. 16.
I think 16 was what you needed. Yeah. Or was it 17? No, it was 17. So yeah,
17 to completely kill them.
17 to completely take him down. Yes. So one of the goons still standing. How does it calculate hits? I don't even know. But he is like 1 hit point. Okay, yeah, I can't even do that because they're all linked.
How many of them are there about?
3.
Exactly as many? 3. So that's... Okay. 1.5 down.
Considering how much you're shooting, they're starting to take more defensive maneuvers. So in a bit, they're going to make it harder for you to shoot them. It's also going to get harder because Dravid is like, oh gosh, the terrain, dizzy. You've got your boss restrained and he's safe-ish now, although if Dravid's driving gets any worse, you're going to start bumping your heads.
I mean,
I have a
am not
suggestion.
let's hear it.
That's going to be for my turn, sorry.
Okay. I mean,
It's a
I'm not good at driving. Like, I could probably drive a spaceship, but I can't really drive a car. The skills aren't really transferable.
Unfortunately, no.
But, so I guess with the boss restrained, Jaden sensibly taking cover, I guess I'll point my head out and take a shot. Like, rifle.
Let him have it. Roll me that gun combat. Oof. To be fair, you are like pushing your way past your boss, who's getting restrained by your friend. So it's a bit of a squeeze at this point.
I mean, I haven't used my reroll yet. I might as well.
Well, if you really want to, let's see it. Sweet Jesus, what's the damage?
That's better. Damage.
That's one less goon. I mean, he's not dead, but he is unconscious. Oh wait, actually, I think that kills him. If you want to kill him or if you want to hurt someone, I'll leave it up to you.
I'd rather just hurt them. I don't really want to kill anybody.
Cool. Then 2 of them are now significantly damaged. GH, their morale is at a very, very low. Let's put it like that.
So what's the state of Willem?
Let's just say that he saw a bullet whiz in front of his eyes.
So he's calmed down.
He's calmed. That's a way to put it. Yes, the clammy cold of fear is definitely a calming solution.
Okay, so well, I guess it's time to take another shot at the bandits or assassins.
Who knows at this point?
Oh,
Both, neither.
kind of a big rifle.
Oof. Oof.
It's a bit too big.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna try one more for those wheels, and then they're gonna call it off if nothing good comes of it. Nothing good comes of it. Despite their best efforts, they've been unable to pierce the wheels of the vehicle, have been unable to hinder you or significantly damage you. Also, the guy poking out the top is like made of solid steel, so they start slowing down a bit, and they let you scoot off into the distance.
Good for us.
To be fair, I'm surprised they weren't scared about how massive my rifle sounded.
The one
Hey.
thing that I wanted to keep for my own turn is to swing around and pick up one of those injured ones.
They are regrouping, so if you try to go for any of the injured ones, you're going to have to deal with the rest of them.
So, would you guys like to do that? Because then we would have evidence against the guy's mother, and that would be a good thing for him.
Dravid is like, I'm not gonna let you drive this car back while the boss is still inside of it. Like, I'm not endangering Willard over nothing. So
All right,
he,
fair enough,
he and
makes
Dravid,
sense.
he and Willard will have to leave the car for that.
I kind of need the car for protection.
Well, if we are, that probably would be the smartest thing, just to leave the boss and Dravid and stuff in one spot. Maybe leave one of us behind to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Then the others go back and deal with the group.
Cool.
I don't want to let those idiots go, yeah.
3 people dismount the car, one of the party members, and Willard, and also Dravid. The dry, dusty soil and the harsh sun sit on your head, and you're going to be here for a moment while your other friends take care of some business. The dry shrubbery around, Dravid examines the car from the outside and is a little bit shocked. It's not bad now, but it might be a problem later. The car's wheels. So, the terrain around here is rough. There's also lots of dry, spiky growths, like plants that probably are softer when they're wet, but they're all dried up. The car's wheels are not in good shape. He's not sure if they're going to last all the way back, but hey, you guys go take care of that and worry about this later.
We might have a spare, and we could take it easy.
Yes. So he's like, "You go take care of that. We'll breathe this one off.
Got
Take a
it.
break."
Y'all, sorry if you can hear my cat. He's being dramatic about getting out.
Maybe.
All right.
He's 1 year old.
Our-
He's a grown ass adult.
Noisy
It's okay.
little
Our boss also just made a fuss about getting out.
Our boss is a cat.
thing. Yeah.
We do have a dog
Might be.
person.
We do have animal people here, but they're human, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, it's a possible canon, but thank you for understanding. I don't know how to stop this.
Anyway, the lot of you go over there, with Jaden in the vehicle with you. He tries to strike up a small conversation on the short drive there of like, so what exactly brings you to Willard? He's a strange fellow, just like you. Or is that just how it works in space?
People are a lot weirder than us out there in space. Trust me.
How would I know? I would have gone to space years ago if my mother wasn't such a strange prude about things. Doesn't help that my brother keeps validating her opinions.
Look to be the relationship between you guys shared. Don't envy it at all.
Oh, this just happens every once in a while when she gets it in her head. I think she's the reason that last man got chased out. Or was that your silly Imperium?
No, I don't think the Imperium was involved. I think the guy was just not very good at his job.
Mm.
Well, at least they send someone slightly more interesting to make up for it. Well, then, let's go interrogate the assassins as always. You go ahead and ask them all the questions you like. I'll be right here. As I mentioned, when you get close, they do aim their weapons your way, but they'll probably throw down once they realize that the car doesn't even contain the targets, and you're, Como's there. Big armor
Yes.
man, and also the other guns.
Lay down your weapons and you might just leave.
Or even what?
Answers.
What kind of answers do you think are even around here, boy? We're in the middle of nowhere.
By the way, I'm not the only one here. If you want to ask questions, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
The questions would probably be as following: since it was his mother, why did she send him them this time? Were they actually going for the kill, etc.?
As you sit in the scorching wind, and the smell of iron whisks your nose, they prop their friend up against a rock. Take a look at you. Last guy was nothing but trouble. Scared him off good like. He left. And now another one comes, starts talking to a boy. Just making sure not too much changes to her liking.
This one is a little too idealistic to just drop it.
You busybodies. You're poking around where doesn't belong. You don't fix the weather, you don't get to stay.
Speaking of weather, there's a storm coming, and it's going to be a big one.
You know what? I'm gonna roll check and see which direction, like how. Okay, so as you say that, you're
Yes.
close enough that you hear this distant rolling rumble that has such intensity that it like resonates through the ground.
That would be the storm specifically, like the thunderstorm or something, right?
Probably, or someone dropped a big wrecking ball on the ground.
Hmm.
I mean, the flash of light isn't as obvious since you're in the daylight, but
Yes. Does it look like there is like a storm cloud on the horizon?
way in the distance, Romism recon. Intellect.
What would be the intellect? Okay, give me a moment. 9.
You do see like these Gore atmosphere is kind of funky. There are these big, round, puffy clouds in the distance. Yes,
Mhm.
they look a bit dark and they slope downwards. So that might be it.
Mm.
You seem to have driven the direction of the storm, intentionally or not.
Fair enough. Well, there's a big storm coming, and after the storm there will be soft rains.
Another flash flood of the season, huh?
Yes.
yeah.
And thanks to our,
I'm gonna be.
I assume, recon or radar information system. What would be the proper name for it specifically?
Who knows? It doesn't have an official name.
Okay, well, fair enough. In that case, I'm just going to give them some bullshit that they might understand. I'm just going to say, thanks for the satellite photos. We know when it's coming, so we have some advance warning.
Be nice to go back to cattle ranch instead of taking care of dirty wet work.
Yep. So, how about you guys? Pack your shit. And I suppose we can give them some medical assistance if they need
They're
it.
not interested. They're like no. We know how this works.
Okay, fair enough. If they know it, then I mean, they claim to know it, but yet they attacked a truck with a metal man inside.
To be
And
fair,
one
I
of
don't
them
think
is
they
now
knew
dead.
you were in there.
Well, I mean, I was pretty shiny, yes. They could have seen the glint of my armor from a while away.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, I don't suppose there is any reason to pursue these guys in particular, but we could use some talking to the mother and persuade her that there will be some actual weather changing if you spend the time fortifying the town against the flash flood instead of trying to kill your own son, maybe things will be better.
So, we're just going to say that the bandits right off at this point, unless you consider them relevant. And you have a little
No,
chat.
I'm not going to go out of my way to murder them.
You have a little chat with Jaden. No, in case you want to
we're gonna
capture
go-
them or something. I don't know.
No, well, I mean, they've given us the information, and the son is already aware why that's happening because it happens on the regular. Probably the same guy's like, "Hey, John, hey," as he's bleeding out on the floor. Swing by and pick up the guys, drive back to town.
Jaden would like to have a little talk with you first.
With you as in me, or with you as in us?
So now you get to see how my mother thinks of my desires to make things a little better around here.
Yep.
You're not going to get rid of her by pleading to the conscience of the town. The sheriff isn't going to touch her. He's smarter than that.
I mean, if assassination is the way things work out over here.
Unless you think you have a tongue of gold, you're not going to convince her of anything. She's an old hag stuck in her ways. Sees your friend over there as nothing but trouble, and you yourself as nothing but trouble. If you want to prepare for the town, you're going to need her out of the way, or she'll get in the way every step she can.
She's not wrong. What I would suggest is probably just trying to at least, quote unquote, give them a chance. Because they're advanced warning, actual preparation. We've helped the town, so we have at least some pull with people.
Yes, you do have some credibility.
Yeah, try to fortify the town. If the town survives that, after that there will be specifically a season of somewhat milder weather, so the water will be back after quite a bit of time, a decade.
I mean, optimistic estimations are that if this rain doesn't lose its effectiveness, it will probably give this place enough water to start perking up a bit.
Yeah, that would be good. And after the
Okay, back to him. He's like, hey, listen, how are you going to solve this problem with my mother? Because at this point, she's actively antagonistic, and you're going to have to deal with that.
I mean, can we just walk in there and shoot her? Because that would work.
I mean, technically, yes.
Her house is probably
look, if
it's my house.
Yeah.
And
once she's dead, it's my house.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm not usually in the business of killing old ladies, but this person has clearly shown to be putting the old ways before like the safety of the rest of the town.
If you want to know what's keeping her safe, if you didn't have my support, shooting her would get you hung. But luckily you do. I must say, I'm very glad to see that Mr. Willard does know how to hire individuals who do what needs to be done. Let's just say that you'll have my fullest support in fortifying the town. If you do what I just promised.
Is there any way to basically just detain her?
Unfortunately, unless she voluntarily surrenders her position in the company to me, or she dies, I don't have any power over her. And thus, detaining her will be impossible.
In that case, I'm going to give her the option, and if she doesn't, well, we're going to have to shoot her.
I don't feel good about
do the whole old yeller.
Yeah.
Like he said, if you think you can talk her down, you can always try that.
That's why I said that we're going to at least give her the option. Also, what kind of threat is that? You're going to be hung. It's like, I'm already hung.
At this point, we're going to say that y'all get back in the car and start driving everyone home.
Yes.
And at that point,
safe?
It's like late. Yeah.
Did anybody get injured?
I mean, Willard bumped his head a few times because he got all hyped up. He got a little too much sugar in his system, too much coffee. But it's nothing that can't just be dressed with a Band-Aid.
Okay, fair enough.
He is a little grumpy that he didn't get to join the shoot. I was like, man, finally some action.
You good, dude?
Yeah.
No.
Are you?
Too much sad.
It is a very listen. Just put the helmet on, man. You got a literal HEV suit.
I mean, yeah, I do. Fair enough.
Turn up the humidity on the internal oxygens.
Well, I mean, it's gonna get all like all the condensed liquid on the inside is gonna cover it. It's gonna be like all misty.
Get a little windscreen wiper on the inside.
You can see a hand reach out from inside of the helmet and just gonna wipe it out. I don't think it has enough space inside of it for me to actually pull an arm out, but it would be fucking amazing
No, it
if
doesn't.
there was.
We're gonna keep
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
we're gonna keep this tidbit short and narrow, and that's namely
yes.
taking care of the old lady. Who's in on this? Who wants to join up on this, or see if maybe they can talk her down? It's not gonna be easy.
I'm gonna be kicking down the door, but I will talk her down.
You
Who's
don't.
with me?
Jaden would politely ask you don't kick down the door of his future house. He has a key.
I'm okay. Fair enough. I'm going to very politely open the door.
All right.
But in a dramatic fashion that mirrors kicking it
You are
down.
taken over to the Jaden estate, which is near the stockyard, but in such a way that it usually sits out of the wind of the smell of the place. It's a fine abode that even late at night still is quite well lit up. It's possible that some effort has been made to install electricity because there's some power lines lying outside, but never properly installed. Jaden will take you inside, where the interior is both posh yet conservative. It's like someone bought fancy furniture 20 years ago and didn't do much to upkeep any of it.
Yes.
The guards are, well, they still listen to Jaden, and they aren't going to say no to the heir of the company. He leads you to the door of a fine study where he just politely tells you, among the hardwood floors where this should be a murder mystery, not a fucking shootout, just go take care of it. However you like. I'll be
Got it.
right over here to make sure that anyone who comes over knows that family business is being settled.
Got it.
With
Obviously, while we were traveling here, I would like to get more details on exactly the process, etc., any papers she might need to sign, and so forth.
We can take care of that if you manage to convince her, which shows you how much confidence he has in that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a confidence in my gun, so.
All right. So, who thinks they can get this old lady to live out her days in a better world and not dead?
So, like, just to clarify, we did regroup with the.
Yes.
Uh,
Everyone
Yes.
regrouped. Everyone got to shake hands and exchange some information and figure out what's going on.
yeah.
And also get informed that, listen, my mom is going to be a huge pain in the ass and get in the way of everything unless we do something to stop her.
Yeah. So, Erica and Max are in the fold now. So.
And in case you're optimistic, it's like, unless you get my mom on your side, she's like, I don't trust what you say. You're a bunch of outsiders who are just making up funny stories, and your weather information is wrong, blah, blah. You know, she's a hag.
I'm still not very down with shooting a woman. Like, because the boss's reputation is probably not gonna, recover from this. Like, hi, I took power by shooting a lady dead, even though she was mean. Like,
Well, if you have other
so
plans,
I'm
propose them.
down. Yeah,
The way I
so
took
I'm
power
Well,
down
the
with
was
the
fun.
by shooting my
talking
mother
part,
in the
but
head.
may abstain from the shooting part because shit.
Well, the fun part about Klingon promotions is that Klingons are cool with it.
Like, you have a workstation, you can make chemicals you need, etc., etc.
Plus, what's stopping Jaden from just doing a 180 once he has power and arresting all of us?
Why don't we just shoot all of them?
Then-
What's stopping him is the fact that I have more than one bullet in my gun.
Hey, you're not gonna be here
Also,
for long. You're not gonna live
he's
here.
also seen Como survive like bullets. He's gonna have to drag him down with force, which, just makes everyone else easy targets. Besides that, Jaden seems to be like a big greedy man, and he probably understands that going after Willard is gonna cut off his connection. So he's playing nice for now, probably.
For now.
That's the best kind of. Yeah, that's the best kind of.
Like, hey, if you don't trust him or want to do something else, like I said, propose your plans. I'm not forcing it on any
Yes.
particular timeline.
Let's try to persuade this old lady.
Yeah. Like, also, she has been a fixture of the town for a very long time, like, enough to get old furniture and not upgraded. So, taking her out could, again, be seen as iffy by the locals. Like, we don't need that. So, yeah. I offer my help with any diplomatic roles.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
guess.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Got a big storm coming.
Shooting is a last resort, people. God damn.
Cool. Any interpersonal skill would help with this. If you want to, you can start a task chain and go like, someone, I'm gonna investigate, see what she likes,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm gonna do some historical research, that kind of stuff. However you like.
I'm very down
Um,
with that.
I have. I have one point of diplomat. I suppose I could use the strength modifier for that to be the, big imposing figure in the back.
Additionally, doing some research on her will let you use education instead of social standing or intellect for your diplomat, persuasion, blah blah, whatever role you're gonna make at the end.
which is
Yep.
something
Oh,
that
my
I would
intellect is
very
pretty
much
high,
like.
and education is pretty high too, so I could try using
My
those as well.
education is very high.
It's 3, man.
So yeah,
Good, go
doing
on.
some research first would benefit us a lot.
Do the research, bud.
So how would we go about doing that?
Whoever's making the final persuasion roll can't do anything because they're busy studying up on this stuff to make a good argument and to give a rousing speech, as it were.
So I guess that's me.
So yeah, you're busy reading up on the material so you can deliver it properly. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
else, well, you can use recon, you can use a social skill. What do you think can help you find clues? What's your approach here? Gonna talk around town, listen in on some conversations, look up some history books and records?
I would
I
definitely,
suppose.
yeah, I would
Sorry, go
definitely
on.
like to hit up the locals. Like, if there is a place that she frequents, I would like to go there and listen and see if anybody's just talking behind her back and what they are saying.
You saw her at that fancy Aslan restaurant. Maybe you can figure something out there. You think
Heck
to
yeah.
yourself. All
If
right.
she is a regular, then Aslan will know a lot. Additionally, I could use advocate to try and promote our new buddy over here.
Lady,
Like,
it's
look, we're looking to make some changes in town. This guy is a
Argus.
decent
I'm
dude.
trying to resolve someone else's action right now.
I know.
Milady, you can roll a fan persuade using your highest non-physical skill. Your social, your education, whatever. You just try chumming them up a little bit, Get some good juice out of
Mhm.
them.
So I'm gonna juice my education because my education is a 9.
Oof. Good roll.
I'm gonna play like the local scientist, like local science nerd, looking for eminent people
I
like
got
that.
glasses. I think at least
That
one
sure.
person has a reroll left.
Like, I used up mine.
For
So
for a little bit of context, a -3 counts as a failure, which is a -2 dice modifier to the successive roll. So you might want to. Anyone there got a reroll left?
I have a reroll left.
Maybe bump your friend up a little bit.
Yes,
best friend.
reroll that.
Coolio. How do we do this?
It's a routine check, by the way, because you're you know this guy. You got off on a good leg with him. He's approachable and amiable.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, same
So,
roll.
but
Set the difficulty to routine.
relative to routine and etiquette, and that's it. Okay. No other
Nope,
stuff.
nope.
Okay.
Cool. That's 1+1 modifier accumulated. What is everyone else gonna do in the meantime while this lady chats up a cat person?
I want to go see if the history of no was okay. So I want to see what her history is with the town, like in the history books, I guess.
Sounds to me like admin or investigation.
Oh God, I don't have skills. I don't have a lot of investigation skills.
Unfortunately, your character's way more of a science guy. You can always take your hands off and leave it at that.
All I have is reconnaissance, but that's
That can be used for snooping and listening in on conversations, yes, at the local tavern and inn, and bar and grill.
yeah.
Go ahead.
To see what try and have a gain. Try again.
Mhm.
Can't speak right now. So yeah, go to like a bar and try and like get a general gist of like
Yes.
how she's. If there's anyone talking smack about her.
Now, don't worry about rolling bad because if you roll like we're gonna judge failures as if it's routine, we're gonna judge success as if it's average because there's a lot of in between space of like people just telling about how nasty she is instead of saying anything useful. So you're not gonna mess things up all that easily.
She turned me into a newt.
So go ahead and roll me that recon. You can use your dex or your int.
So it's
That's another +1 modifier. Nice. Max Dryden and Arthur Asimov, what are you two gonna do?
I suppose I could use an advocate skill to try and promote our new buddy and their cooperation with our boss.
You're trying to get arguments or persuasive power with the old lady. Like you're bundling up your power here.
All right, so that wouldn't be necessarily applicable. Fair enough. Let me think then. Well, like I said, I could try using the diplomat with something like strength to just create tension, I suppose.
So during the conversation, you're gonna create tension.
I'm just going to be standing behind them
Okay. All right. You
in a menacing way.
go ahead. Let's see how that works out for you. You're gonna be flexing in the background with your big armor and scary weapons.
Oh my god, yes, exactly. I do have a bodybuilder routine. Let's see how badly this works.
Arthur,
If you don't answer our question, we're gonna get the big buff guy to take you to the gym and not let you out.
Holy shit.
So that's a total +4 modifier from your friends backing you up there, Miss Gecko. Max, do you want to contribute any more, or are you like, you know what? I'm not gonna risk a potential -1. Mr. Max.
What's up? I'm here.
Yeah, you're not if that's the answer you give. I know that much.
I'm not in this group. I'm sorry, I was typing something.
Well,
You are. We're all here. We were.
We converged.
We converged in
A
the
while
meantime.
ago.
Yeah, we're making this your problem too.
Why didn't
Have you
anyone tell me that? Oh my god, I'm so
We
sorry.
did.
because
us
it's assumed that
specifically
people are paying
said,
attention
like,
to the game they're a part of.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was still not a part of it. My bad.
Next
That's
time
because
we
you're not paying
bring in
attention.
a maximum volume because it's pretty clear.
Okay. I'm sorry. So we were trying to
It's
kill
just
the old lady, and then we decided to talk to the old lady, and somebody's taking someone to be taken aside by a big buff guy.
not quite. We've decided to give the old lady a chance because the majority of the group is not cool with just straight up murdering her.
Okay, that part
So we're
makes
trying to
sense.
give her a chance. Yes. And if you have any applicable skills or any ideas on how to use the said skills to help us out, you can roll it. You can also just say, let's not roll it because we have a +4 right now.
I don't think he really does.
Hmm.
Like,
I don't have any thing. I can only recon the place. That's the only thing I have. In
yeah,
this
but that's already
situation.
Fair
taken.
enough.
That's already taken care of. So we're just gonna go to Gecko, who has some reference material, reading through it, as a big scary person to help back him up. All right, Liza. With all this information, you can roll your education, plus your relevant social skill, persuasion, deception, whatever you're going to use to get her to come to your side. And you have a total +4 modifier from your friends being super chill. You're rolling a pretty difficult roll here, so let's see how that works out for you.
Uh,
You've got
Okay.
this.
Show me the beans.
uh,
Wait, why is there a -4 in there?
oh, because I said it's a very difficult, because that's what you said.
No.
Very difficult. Is
Please roll it
-4.
again. I'm playing it by the seat of my pants. Just go with average. Come on.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I think we got a decent amount of prep in.
You did everything you could, and you're trying to convince this old hag to play ball.
As long as it's not Snake Eyes, which it wasn't.
Cool. Wow. Well, fucking knocked me out of the park. That's a 3 and a 6. Ooh. By some miracle, you walk in, and over the course of the evening, you have a long, protracted conversation with this woman. You bring up the fact that, of, look at a brighter future. Look at what all this has gotten you. Things are dehydrated. People are grumpy. Your train never goes anywhere. Also, the person running the train is wholly incompetent at getting the stuff they need to get. So
Hmm.
you got to get some fresh blood in there, Look at this place. Look at what you could do with it if you just believe in the future. And when she gets grumpy because you heard that, oh, well, she actually really likes that bar, you're like, remember all those tasty food? There could be more of that if you just step down. Also, you won't have to deal with him. And listen, Arthur, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling and say that you look like you're about to tear her head off at that point, which is why I gave a +2.
I am basically doing the Johnny Bravo routine. Ha ha! I'm gonna rip your head off.
Good lord.
Please do not use a comb against the glass of your helmet to straighten out your hairdo.
Well, I mean, it would be plastic against glass, yes.
It's making this awful screechy sound.
Fun fact for
Yes.
for a good portion of my young childhood, I thought that yellow hair was like actually yellow hair instead of implying blonde. It made Johnny Bravo kind of weird with his cheese hair.
Jeez, yeah,
Very
it's fine.
tasty hair.
By the end of it, Eliza, you've achieved something that, let's just say that in its own way, gets you a whole lot of bonuses. Because for one, the guy behind you who's like, just shoot the old hag and get it over with, is like, what the fuck? He's kind of blown out of the water, as is the old woman, as she doesn't quite turn around, but the gut feeling that she has makes her do things that, she transfers power. She might regret it later, but power has been transferred, and I don't think people are going to argue with Jaden. He's a smart boy.
Give him a chance.
It is now past midnight. This conversation took a while, as did the prep work. You're probably all a little tired because it's been a busy day. A lot of driving, a lot of shooting, a lot of action, a lot of just watching out for things and measuring landscapes and talking to it's just been a long-ass day. You're sitting in the salon, in the little sitting room where people hang out, where Mr. Jaden is, you can still tell that he's processing the fact that his mother isn't dead, which is what he'd been prepping for this whole time. Like,
Sorry, bud.
I guess...
You're not gonna make a good adventure with that backstory.
No, I won't. That is for certain. I must say that you're quite more competent than I expected. Doing a little...
Gee.
Don't take it the wrong way. It's just that the last person who came from out of space to come and talk around here got his ass whooped, and apparently got recalled.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
that's why
Well-
they sent in some actual competent people, because apparently the job was too difficult.
Well, I guess I made a promise to help you out in the best extent that I can.
Thanks, bud.
And he hangs on that sentence for a moment, tapping his glass. All right.
We're not letting him off the hook.
So, how bad was the storm going to be again?
Several feet of water, probably enough to destroy significant portions of the town.
Well, there was this old, I think it was a lady around town a while ago. He was talking about the future and prophecies, and I don't know if she's just a lucky guess.
Prophecies.
I'm going to take my leave and go to bed. I recommend you do the same. If anything of what you divined out turns out to be true, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah,
All right.
should probably do that when we're a little more well rested. That was a big day.
Yes.
I'll send someone over to your location tomorrow to start some discussions as to what needs to be done.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, bud.
So, on top of that, because of how incredible that conversation went, there were some people in the room, like her bodyguards and stuff. This situation is going to disseminate across the town and reflect positively on your boss.
Good.
So, to put it as blunt as possible, after all this, you've already succeeded at your basic objective of getting Willer to be a part of the community. Because at this point, it's like, wow, he knows these people, he did these things, he's friends with this guy? Wow. Like, man,
He did it.
he employed the old bandits, and they're not burning the whole time. I think this guy knows what he's doing. So yes, we're gonna end the session here today with the
Right.
knowledge that next time, though Willard has been accepted, will there even be a town for him to be accepted by the end?
Hopefully,
Well,
yes.
A storm's
good
a
for
brewing. Ain't gonna be easy. So put on your cowboy hats and put on your Wellington boots and your Macintosh coats.
Oh my god, I'm gonna put the cowboy hat on top of my helmet.
Yeehaw.
I put it under the
Danger.
helmet.
Well, thanks for today, lads.
If
I do have to go. So see you next time, bubbies.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
if the negotiations didn't go well enough, I'd pull out a gun and say click click because this gun doesn't have a hammer to pull back.
No, you poor guy. Hey, if you want to, I'm sure you can buy like a fake hammer you can fan on your weapons in this.
Probably, yeah, but like I just think like the entire like the premise of it is funny. It's like, did you just say click click? It's like, yes, I don't have a hammer to pull back to intimidate people.
I tried to get a soundbite, but they never get it right.
Exactly.
Anyway, next time you guys are gonna have to make some big decisions.
Yes.
And hey, maybe people with less social skills can actually be useful using their engineering knowledge and the lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
I mean, ideally, I'd need an excavator or something of the sort, but I'm sure this will be fine.
You have like at least a week or two, and beyond that, it's getting risky. So hey,
Yeah,
I'm-
that's good enough.
I'm gonna write down some basics so I can give you guys some hard choices.
Fair enough.
Floods are bad. I mean, don't forget you're dealing with a like this is not the only town in the area that falls within the sphere of influence of Rakangor. There is also Encras and Fovent, and
That's
you'll have
fair
to
enough,
you'll
but
have to Hmm?
they can probably evacuate
yeah you're gonna have
because
to.
obviously we don't have enough resources and people to protect everybody, but
We
can
can
probably
discuss
pull
that when
people.
we're there, but
Yeah.
like I said,
I mean, we can just take the.
can you
Do the
please
thing
leave
we
this
did in the
problem
last
solving
campaign.
to when the session is so that we don't forget the good ideas?
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke. Never mind. Okay.
Listen, if you say the good idea now, it's going to be out of your brain, and the next time you're going to be like, wait, I had a good idea, but I forgot it because I said it. That's how it works for me, at least.
I remember all of my stupid ideas most of the time.
I always have stupid ideas.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
next time they can work. Maybe you can blow up the dam or something. I don't know. There's no dam, but you can build one and blow it up.
Sorry for talking too much today too. I
I'm
was
just
excited for stuff.
I'm just frumpy.
Mm.
I'm just grumpy.
How much time do I have till the next section?
A week.
Yeah, next
No,
session.
no, no. For today's session. For
Is
3.5.
what? Oh, we have like an hour.
An hour. Okay.
You can get a quick nap.
Might be able to get a nap in between then and now.
Power
So I'm
nap.
gonna go
Well,
drink
it's-
some tea and then crash.
Willard's credibility went to maximum.
Yay.
I'm not to ruin it, hopefully.
I mean, to be fair, you've probably helped a lot.
Yay.
I mean, I shot a few dumbasses. I think I did at least a somewhat good job today.
You
Hey,
showed
if he was dead,
hospitality.
he wouldn't have a reputation at all.
Mm.
Okay, anyone got a good idea for like an episode title for the next one for the big flood?
Heavy flow.
Hold on, I might have a couple puns in my notes.
While on, what's her name again? While Aunt Jude might pecan, Aunt Flo is only coming. Ho ho ho!
The next episode doesn't have a name. It's just a picture of a little sign that says wet floor.
No.
The wet and wild west.
Oh my god, I found a little fucking stupid joke. Many years after the great flood, God came to Noah again and spoke, Noah, it is my wish that you build another ark. Rather worried, Noah said, but my lord, have the people not been good this time? Must there be another flood? No, there will not be a flood, and people have been good, said the Lord. Then why another ark? Asked Noah. I wish for this ark to only house fish. The Lord replied. A slightly confused Noah responded, "Okay, I shall do as you wish, my lord. But not just any fish, only carp." Um, the Lord said unto him. Noah, now more bemused, replied, "Okay, my lord. One more thing," the Lord said unto him. "It needs to have multiple levels." "Are you sure, my lord? What is the purpose of this?" "What on earth is it all for?" Noah pressed. And God said, "I want you to build a multi-story carp ark."
What?
Comedy.
Comedy, yes. Well, I mean, you know,
Car park, yes.
yes. Carp ark.
You are the finest ark builder in the world, no matter what precedes the ark.
Yes. Stuck in a flood? Don't cry. You'll only make it worse.
Anyway, here's some important information for future Traveler games. Apparently, boomerangs work in microgravity.
Oh my god.
That's
Well, yeah,
very good
because
for
they
me
only
to know.
need really the atmosphere to spin in.
Also, this picture perfectly encapsulates your performance today. Gold star.
Uh,
Just like the bemused look.
What pops into the head of someone jumping from the 6th floor?
No idea.
His spine.
What?
What pops into the head of someone jumping from the 6th floor? His spine pops into the head of someone jumping
Depending on
from the 6th
what he
floor.
lands on.
I once saw a pirate flood a tavern. Let that sink in.
Okay, with that one, see you guys.
Goodbye.
Four,
Bye.
three.
Hmm.
That session was messy and I feel bad.
It was okay. It was nice. I talked a lot and too much, honestly. It feels like I talked too much. Anyway, here's a picture for Traveler. Well, it's from a book that I've read a long time ago, but I think it fits Traveler a lot. I'm gonna damn you. Here. It's like super high resolution too, so you can see all the nifty little details.
Buggo with a little golden star on his shoulder.
Yeah, because it's like a sentient species. It's like the first contact. He's like a soldier, and she's a soldier, and he's wearing like clothing and stuff and all that. Like
That's
you think it's just like a human touching like hands with like a bug, but then you see it that and it's like clear signs of civilization and everything. It's really neat. Like there's a city in the background. There's like clothing on the bug and stuff. It's neat. I like that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go crash for a little bit.
you go nuts.
Yeah. Can we start an hour later, like with that one, or is it like a
You
little too
asked
late for
them
you?
yourself. How about that?
Nah. 1 hour it is. I'll be back in an hour. Bye.
See you then.